Freak, are you kidding me?
I keep on falling, falling and falling. Will I ever reach the bottom? I'm sorry, 'cause I keep on falling, falling and falling. The dealer of pain is what they call me. And I keep on falling, falling, falling. Will I ever reach the bottom? I'm sorry. I keep on falling, 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 falling. The dealer of pain is what they call me.
Rumble, YouTube family, what's good? What's happening? Ironwork 92,000 in the house, and it's Monday. It ain't True Earth Tuesday. We still got that popping tomorrow, I promise you. But I figured I'd jump on today and have a little bit of a chop it up session with the the Foundry. Can't even get it out right, man. I didn't even go drinking. But I figured I'd chop it up with y'all today. But before we do, you know what I gotta do. You know what I gotta do. I gotta say hi to people. I got to say hi. So hi. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Who we got in here? Swalla, I said, what's up to you? How you doing? Maria Walker, hey sis, how you doing? It's good to see you, Maria. I got your email. I did not respond just yet. I was going and looking at that picture. Amazing stuff. Thank you, Maria Walker. Welcome, welcome. ABC in the house. Yes, I know. I'm starting to see that now, and I apologize for that. So Z, I'm sure Z loves watching us over here. But Z, wherever you're at, if you're on, my bad, dog. I'm not trying to step on your toes or nothing like that. My bad. My bust. I apologize for that. But maybe we could join you. I don't know. Mike over IP, I guess you're new. Welcome, brother. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Plain and simple truth, of course. Always a pleasure. Mr. Super Sidewinder, I see you. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Professor Phil, hey, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. Out there fighting kangaroos. It's always a pleasure, Professor Phil. It's always a pleasure. Even though you and people like you and Swalla, you guys are globers, we still love you over here, and we still have respect and love for you over here. So welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. TT the FG, what's going on? Paucus, what's happening, bro? It's good to see you, man. It's always a pleasure to good to see you guys. Man, I'm over there fucking up, man. I am just messing up, guys. But I want to I keep it natural. You know, this is all unscripted. I don't have a little script or anything that I read from, no cue card in the background prompting me to say anything. I don't do that. Everything's from the heart. You know what I'm saying? So anytime I speak with you guys, it's all from in here. It's all from the soul. So just bear with me. What you see is what you get. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, none of it's scripted. All the impersonations and everything, that's all that's all me. All of that, you know. Brian Roy, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Pebbles in the house. All right, our sister Pebbles. Where's Porter at? And also, we had another. I know we had ABC in here, and I know Sean Alki is around here somewhere. Sean Alki is around here somewhere, indeed. Yes, he is. Yes, indeedy. Yes. Okay. Okay. So before we kick off the festivities for today, Black Light, hey brother, it's good to see you. Black Light in the house. All right, flat power. I love it. I love it. I know our brother. Oh man, uh, Bro Sanchez started that. Flat power, everybody. Flat power. I love Bro Sanchez's channel. That should be killing me. You can't be sitting there. You know he can't dance if he's biting his bottom lip. Anytime you see a man biting his bottom lip, he can't dance. That just means he can't dance. It just means he can't dance, y'all. Good to see y'all, man. Good to see you, Black Light. Who else is in here? I didn't say hi to. The Akinator. What's happening, family? It's good to see you. Y'all remember that, right? Pimp mauled my foot. Okay. So Tesla Club Plasma Energy Healing. Okay, so there are a couple of things before we roll into it. I wanted to discuss. I don't know if you guys have seen the Rife Machine. Yes, Bro Sanchez be going hard in the paint, boy. Bro Sanchez like sanctions off a whole section of a day just so he can like live stream. Bro Sanchez will My man will preach. Like, we gotta get this dude a pulpit and like a church. Bro Sanchez will go hard, yo. And that dude goes like he's got a PowerPoint ready and everything. He's got a PowerPoint with like 5,000 slides on it, ready to go. So TT, no, I don't. No, I don't. But before I get into, I'm all over the place right now, so just bear with me. But before I get into what we're going to discuss today, I wanted to talk about real quick what you mentioned. Who is it? Crashes. What's going on, Crashes 82? It's good to see you. Pimp, PIMP. So Tisla Club Plasma Energy Healing. I don't know what that is, but I'm familiar, and I haven't used it yet, but I'm familiar with the Rife machine, what they call the Royal Rife machine. Some people call it the Spooky 2. Let me go ahead and type that SPOOKY 2, the Spooky 2 machine. And basically, it's an RF generator that produces RF, of course, that aids in healing people's ailments, whatever those ailments are, from the common cold to mold to the big C, and it's a bad word, it's actually a zodiac sign, right? That goes from June to July, that C word. Um, and so, yeah, so it's known to heal those types of ailments. If you're not familiar with it, the Royal Rife machine. And I've got a treat for you guys coming up this week. One of my guests is going to be here to discuss that with you guys. And it's going to be part of my, I do from time to time. Your health is your wealth, right? It's a little segment that I let people come on and they discuss like breakthroughs in medicine or breakthroughs in how we can heal ourselves or find different ways in healing ourselves. And the thing is, it's not mainstream. These guys aren't doctors, but they found niche ways in healing the human body, healing themselves, healing other people. And I think it's phenomenal and just something different, right? And my thing is, the flat earth brings you and branches you out to different aspects of what this world and this life has to offer. So I'm all about it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, yes, it's and grandma used to say you would want to stick around for that. It's not going to be today. I pray it's going to be tomorrow if she has a opening, and then there are going to be some things that I would like to do with the information that we're going to be getting, God willing, tomorrow. You understand? So yes, there's that. And yeah, man, all props go to Bro Sanchez. We love this brother, man. Bro Sanchez was here. Bro Sanchez was here and he shared the panel with us. And we went over Mikey's stars, and Bro Sanchez was pretty impressed, man. And I'm glad to have, I was really happy to have that man on this channel. And I'd love to have him, like, if we could get him every time, man, I'd love to have him on here. But I know Bro Sanchez, he's busy. He's got quite a following. He's got the biggest flat earth following on YouTube, as far as I know. And I know he does a lot of work. He's got a good setup. He's got a very professional setup. Not like this. You know what I'm saying? I wing it basically, right? But Bro Sanchez has a professional setup and he's got a method to his madness and a way in which he does things. So I don't want to mess it up. But still, anytime he could come on, I would love to have him on. And if you see Bro Sanchez and you think that there is a topic that you want to go over and you think it would be popping on here, bring that joker over here so we could talk about it. I would love to have him on. You know what I'm saying? I would love to have him on. Oh, so no, not for you, ABC. Okay, that's fine. And that's right. Your health is your wealth. Guaranteed. Absolutely. And you guys are amazing. Guys, don't fight, please. If I wouldn't trust it. Oh, I don't know about all that. Um, I tell you what, man. Just take a look at that information. Anything that comes across here when it relates to health, I am not a health professional. I am not a doctor. A lot of these things I look to practice myself, or I give somebody a platform to go ahead and discuss what it is they've done, what it is they've researched, how they have applied these things to their own lives, and then present it to you. And then with that information, you do what it is you would like to do. You know what I'm saying? Donald Piasek, welcome, brother. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. So I haven't spoken on, black light. That's a good question. I haven't spoken on the planets aligning. I haven't spoken on that yet. But what I find interesting is the timing as to when the planets have aligned and the type of moon that we had outside. And yes, this is what I'm starting to learn, Maria Walker, is that Cancer is parasitic. It's it's that, and there are a bunch of things that. Oh, I got you. I got you, ABC. Okay, I got you. But with folks saying cancer is parasitic, there are a couple of things that I've learned about cancer, like feeding cancer sugar, eating too much foods with sugar, too many foods, excuse me, with with processed sugar, just, and I guess sugar in general. I'll be honest with you, I don't know the difference between unprocessed sugar and processed sugar other than the wording. I really don't understand. One is fake, the other one is not. I don't know. Um, I don't understand how sugar can be bad, but honey could be good, even though one is like, it doesn't, like, I don't understand it. Not that I don't seek to understand it, it just confuses me. You know what I'm saying? So I think these things, learning and understanding these things uh is interesting. And it's hard these days. It's hard, especially knowing what we know, coming from where we, and sugar also feeds fungus. Yes, good point. Uh, because I know people feed like mushrooms with sugar, different sugar, or different ways to. It's weird. It's very strange. Um, but knowing what we know, us being flat earthers, right, or true earthers, which I like to call myself a true earther. Knowing what we know and knowing how we got to know what we know that I know there's a lot of no's, but we understand that we can't just trust the science, right? Or the medicine science just easily. We just can't take what it is that these guys say and go along with it. Um, and why do I say that? Well, we just came from 5 years ago, the whole pandemic nonsense, and a lot of people, and it just makes me upset thinking about it because we lost a lot of people. People died because of lies, right? And the greatest example, the best example illustrated is what we had 5 years ago, right? The best example of that happening is what we had to deal with a few years back. And so um seeing that, like, I have a hard time just going along with what we were taught. And so that's one of the reasons, Harmon Walker, you guys know Harmon, he comes on here. Hello, sir. How you doing, Vlad? Yeah, well, how do you know how do you know that that gas does that? I love seeing Harmon, right? And I love seeing him, and a lot of people can't stand Harmon. I get it, but Harmon drives like the basic of the basic points home by asking, well, you think you know, but how are you sure? How do you know? Right? So very good points indeed. And how do we know? How do we know that based off of what we learned from medicine that these are the facts? Don't know, but that's why we bring certain people on here for segments like Your Health is Your Wealth, to discuss alternatives to what we've been taught, like the Rife machine, right? And I find the Rife machine so damn interesting because within our realm of coming to learn things is RF, right? Radio frequency. The wonders of RF. We've got this guy that just built this car that claims, right, that his car and his TVs that he's built and a motorcycle that he's built, these things run off of RF energy, right? And I just find it fascinating. RF, our cell phones are Wi-Fi, right? Everything, RF, everything, RF everywhere. and RF to kill you, right? RF to harm you, put poison in your body, and then RF to destroy that poison at the same time. If you can find a way to find a resonant frequency in that for those parasites in your body to disease the disease and destroy it and rid it from your system, right? And so again, I'm going to end that part of what it is we're talking about right now. But health is your wealth tomorrow. Let's look forward to that. That's going to be part of True Earth Tuesday tomorrow. I really look forward to discussing this segment with you. Great young woman. She's married to a good buddy of mine. He's an old shipmate of mine on my first ship. Um, Her name is Holly Cave, and she is an amazing woman. An amazing woman, comes from a beautiful family. And these guys, they live out in Texas, and they are just amazing. They are amazing. And I think the information that she has for you, that she'll be presenting, is something that you just don't get from anybody. Because even though she's not a doctor, she's not a nurse, but that's right. And pH does matter. It does. She's not a doctor. She's not a nurse. But what she does is she's applied what it is she's learned to her in her life and the life of her family, the lives of those in her family as well. And the results are like amazing. They're absolutely amazing. See, just happy. Okay, good, 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 good. I understand. I got you. Okay. Godheart, gum spirits. Anyone looking should definitely. Okay, gum spirits. I'm gonna look at that. You mean gum like a bubblicious, double mint gum? Uh, Juicy fruit is gonna move ya. The juice so soft it gets right through ya. Juicy fruit. The taste is all right. Let me shut the fuck up. I don't think you're talking about them gum spirits. Wormwood, yes, wormwood oil. So, um, what I know about wormwood oil is that's something that Bro Sanchez was talking about a few weeks ago on his channel, was wormwood, right? That's Nibiru, they call it wormwood. And wormwood, you put that in the water, it gets rid. I know it's supposed to get rid of parasites. Wormwood is the stuff that they put in absinthe, right? That flavors absinthe. And if anybody's ever had absinthe, oh my lord, that stuff is just disgusting. It is a liquor, and my God, mm, 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 mm. Tree gum of turpentine. Okay, turpentine is another thing. Bubblicious. Hubba bubba, bubble yum, bubblicious. Yeah. But yeah, all those things apparently they're good for you. Black walnut, cloves, right? These things are good and they're said to fight off parasites. I know because, and when you taste them, here's one thing, and then I'll move on from the topic of what we should and shouldn't eat, what we should and shouldn't put in our mouths. Yes, eating plenty of greens, alkaline. I do know that when your body is in and I'll tell you based off of experience, right? When I work out a lot and I sweat a lot and I put my body through the grinder, Mr. Schneider, good to see you, brother. Welcome. Godheart Guardian, good to see you too, brother, and welcome, welcome. Right? Jason Cole, what's happening, brother? It's good to see you. Right? When I put my body through the grinder and I work out and I do it a lot, a couple of things happen. So my body's begging for food, right? My body is begging to eat something, but something, anything. And as I eat, because I put my body through the ringer, my body needs that energy. It's going to take whatever it can from whatever it is I ate, and then it's going to put it through my body. Now, my body is going to take that energy, and then it's going to expel it, right? Sweat, piss, dookie. So after I push that out, however that stuff comes into my system and it decides it wants to give the rest of my body these nutrients, I might feel a certain way. So if I'm eating junk after a workout, I might feel drunk the next morning, or I might not feel so hot, or the way my body will tell me that what I ate wasn't the best stuff. I'd be crapping bad. I'd be farting, and my fart would smell like terrible. And my fart would also be like, dude, like it would be hot on the other end. I'm not trying to make y'all feel disgusted, but my body lets me know like you shouldn't be eating that if you're going to be lifting. So basically, as you work out harder, your body kind of directs you and tells you what is good, what is bad. Like, eat this, don't eat that. I know it sounds crazy, but it's weird how that works. And as you eat those things, you naturally tend to start to abstain from the foods that are not good for you. It just naturally happens, right? It's not like you're forced into saying, okay, I'm going to diet, I'm not going to eat this. No. um right. Wasting your muscles from exercise needs released. Yes. So yeah. So it's crazy. Like, eat this, don't eat that, right? And then as the eat this, don't eat that tends to happen, um you just naturally start steering yourselves towards eating salads, greens, steamed vegetables, right? And then you start eating less Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger Kings, and all them other things. And if you do eat fast food, you're going to be very, very picky as to what it is you eat. You'll be avoiding things like bread because you're going to notice that, like, those processed breads with all them sugars and stuff like that inside of them. And I'm not a doctor and I am not a dietitian. I'm just telling you stuff based off of my experience, right? And what I've seen, and what I've seen that tends to work. Um, is that when you start eating, less and less of that, your body starts to naturally, like, conform to its true self. It's amazing. Not that it's crazy, because that's like, what's crazy is that it's normal. And that even though, like, I'm acting amazed, like, we shouldn't be amazed, because this should be the natural way of things. Um and bread, maybe it's not healthy. Maybe the bread that we get isn't the healthiest stuff. Maybe the stuff that we are supposed to get, or the bread that we're supposed to eat, is stuff that we're supposed to process, mill ourselves, and then bake ourselves, right? I know I love bread. I like bread a lot. I do like bread. I do. I like pancakes, right? And I like pastries and stuff. But I also know that I can't eat these things every day. I can't eat these, but white bread tastes good, right? But then, as you work out, like, these things tend to, your body tends to be like, all right, enough of that. Eat more greens, right? You ever go on a long trip? Like, I just came back from Vegas, right? I went on this trip, and here's what my body told me. My body was like, "Where's the salad at?" And as soon as I got home, I baked myself some fish, and I made myself a big old salad. It was like a fish salad that I made. Might as well have been. I didn't make no rice. I didn't make nothing. I just made a fish and I made a salad. And that's what I ate, damn it. And I was happy. You know what I'm saying? And yes, and God Heart Guardian, good call. A parasite cleanse, you and your animals, at least once every 3 months. So I don't have animals. I know there are people out there that have chickens, that have cows, goats, donkeys, and stuff like that. That sounds like it's a real good idea. I don't know how you would do that. I don't know if you would put something in their food, like maybe pennies or cloves or wormwood. I don't know. I don't know what you would put in their food. But I know, or I'm learning, a good way to parasite cleanse is a fast, right? Starve yourself, or fast, right? Fast, because we be slowing like a mug. Right? We do, instead of fast, a lot of us do a lot of slow. So maybe we should do less slow and more fast, right? So we can purge these things from our system. Anyway, that's enough of that. Tonight's not health is your wealth. Tonight we're talking about expectations and everything else. So the last few episodes, the last few nights, we've had people coming in here, going out there, talking stuff about what it is they see, all their claims and everything else, and then us getting wound up around the axle. And that tends to happen, and that's fine. My thing is that expect it, right? Always expect, always, always, always. Don't be shocked um, that we have people coming in here that are going to, porn bomb us. We had somebody go to Saab's channel and try to porn bomb him. Shout out to Saab, by the way. Tried to porn bomb him, but he was quick with it. You know what I'm saying? Um, quick. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I'll go ahead and I'll drop that link, but I want to kind of continue with the point black light. But yeah, totally we'll get and segue into that. We will. Now we had somebody come in here and I guess you could say disrupted things. I don't think that's a disruption. I think these things as they happen, they're necessary. But at the same time, one of the big takeaways you need to get from things like that happening is that you got to expect it. These things, you can't be surprised, right? We're at a place, I feel, us as flat earthers, we shouldn't be surprised anymore. Like these things, they shouldn't surprise us because you got to see the source from which they come from, right? Um, we understand that there are those that, though they don't agree with us, oftentimes they live a certain lifestyle. Not all the time, but sometimes, oftentimes, right? So with these expectations, if they're going to come in and they're going to play these mindfuck games with us, if they're going to come in and they're going to play these games in general with us, we can expect other things to come from folks like that, right? Um, we had a guy, TDDS, that comes in. He'll come in with a shit sandwich. What I mean, in the military, we call that shit sandwich, right? And this is what a shit sandwich is. Hey, Mike, or I just used Mike, but Mike is a common name. Hey, Fred, you look good. But Fred, man, you funkier than a motherfucker. But man, I heard you could sing though. You know what I'm saying? Good shit, good. Sandwich that, you got a shit sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Good bread and shit in the middle. You got a shit sandwich. What's that shit? Well, you stink like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So we call that and what you got? The Earth is a globe, but I don't want to upset you, good people. Well, listen, Professor Phil, it's coming from a place of honesty. I don't think you're trying to upset us. I think you're in here because you're truly a flat earther, but you've got money to make. And so you don't want to come out and publicly say that you're a flat earther. I get you. I understand. And I appreciate you, Professor Phil. I really do. And we love you over here. But you ain't getting no wrench, Professor Phil. I promise you that. You ain't getting no wrench. Eldon Bean, what's going on, family? Donald Piasek, what's going on, family? Emilios Man, long time no see. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Undoctrinated. Welcome, family. Welcome. Uh-oh, hold on. I think we got somebody over here. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we do. Oh, snap. Everybody, we see him. We notice that this brother comes in here, got them long ass locks. You know what I'm saying? Flat earther, like many of us in the foundry. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, welcome to the chat. Our brother Black Light. What's happening, brother?
What's up, man? How you been?
Man, I've been over here, man, just doing my thing, and just it's just been a little bit wild on the channel, and it's good to see you, by the way. Just been a little bit wild on the channel, people coming in here just causing disruption and everything else. But my thing is that we have to expect these things. It's, even though this is a place where we can discuss and where we can probe and we can learn about new things related to the true earth, things related to the flat earth, they're going to be trolls. They're going to be those that make these claims that, Sam, what's going on, bro? They're going to be those that make these claims that we already know is BS, but they're going to try and push their BS on us, right? And then we're going to have those that are upset. And then those that are upset will be mostly our own. It'll mostly be flat earthers that get mad about it. And it is what it is. Like, I get it. I get that you're upset. I get that they feel that the topic of discussion is being derailed. But here's the thing. Uh, in my mind, right? In my mind, I think there needs to be not a not a balance, but you got to have a look. You have to have. I feel that you have to have some of that. You have to have some of what it is they're saying, because I don't want us to feel as if everybody's, because that tends to happen. You know what I'm saying? It tends to happen to where we talk and we agree with much of what it is we discuss, and sometimes I know I do. I don't know about y'all, but I feel we may think that the world revolves, pun intended, but the world kind of has become a flat earth, right? There are more flat earthers than there are globe earthers. And then it's like the reality is we still have a total imbalance of globe earthers, right? On the heavy side, and flat earthers significantly on the light side. And so I feel it's a good reality check sometimes to have, I know people don't like it. They don't like these people coming in here. I get it. But we have to have it sometimes, and we have to hear their side. And then after we hear their side, we knock them down. We tell them, okay, it's BS. You got to go, right? Hear it, but then they got to go. And why am I saying that? Well, good to see you, Gwendolyn. Welcome, welcome. But we had somebody. I'm not going to say no names, but I'm sure many of us know. But we had one of our flat Earth brethren get jumped on for for all the things that he's done. He's been doing some really good work, and we he came in here with his good work, and he goes to other channels, and he has his own channel. He's got an amazing channel, and he does some bang up work. You know what I'm saying? And he's different. He comes and he approaches the flat Earth a little bit different, and he's tackling it from an angle of the bottom up perspective, looking at the stars. And even though the stars don't dictate the ground that we walk on, it's still an interesting thing to look at, because I feel even though it doesn't dictate the ground that we walk on, it's something of an anomaly, because we don't know what it is we're looking at. We don't know the ground that we're walking on, but we do know that it's not moving and it's not curving. That much we know. And so we just call it flat, even though we have hills and valleys, sure. But this person that I'm talking about, and I'm not going to say his name, right? Because I want to protect the innocent. Um, he sees the sky and he's captured it in such a way that I think it warrants discussion, right? And me, of course, I'm going to say I'm impartial, because like I like his work and I think that he's got something worth discussing. I'm not going to say that it's just an aberration, even though we can't just rule it out. I'm not going to say to just rule it out, but I think that he's got something. And why do I think that? And wow, speak of the devil. I was just thinking about this dude, Geocentric. Good evening, Geo. So Geocentric, if you don't know, he's from Aruba, right? So he's on the, or I think either you're from Aruba or he's from Trinidad. But Geocentric comes in here, he's like, "Hey bro, what's good, bro? What's happening, bro? How you doing, man? All right." So Geo comes in here and that's him. So you'll know that's him when he comes. Oh, so he's from Aruba. All right. And what he did was he took pictures of the stars, but from a different vantage point. He took it with his P1000 with a camera, with his P1000 camera from an airplane. And instead of being from the ground like this other individual has, he did it from the airplane. And the way he captured it was very similar to how the person that the topic of expectations is, kind of like how he captured it. But the difference is that Geo captured it, what, 6 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. And it was a P900, excuse me, right? I apologize. And so he captured it like that. And we also had Palkus. And so if you don't know who Palkus is, Palkus came in here a little bit ago. And Palkus lives over, I believe, in Portugal. I think he lives in Portugal. So if I'm not mistaken, he lives in Portugal. Either way, Palkus, just like this person that I'm talking about, captured these stars the same way as the person that we're discussing. And when he captured it, it looks similar. Now, just because they look similar doesn't mean that, yes, it is a fact that what this person is capturing is exactly what is captured. No, but I think it's interesting that now you have three people capturing the stars and it looks nothing like what we thought the stars look like. And what I mean by that is it looks like, water, it's covered in a light covered in water and all that stuff. These guys have dry air around them and then they're capturing the stars in a way in which we're totally not familiar with. And I find that very interesting. And so you have these people coming in here. And Ida Hill, how you doing, sis? It's good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, Ida Hill. And David, welcome, David. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. And so it's interesting that, hey, Ratso, what's good? What's happening? Ratso, be good. Don't play games today. Be good, Ratso. So it's just interesting that all these guys are coming in and they're attacking. They are on the attack for all these guys. And so it gets us upset. I get it. But at the same time, the closer you are to, there's a saying that says, the closer you are to the target, you're going to get the most flack. So if you're not close to anything, you're going to get no flack. You're going to be safe. So if you're in here and you're safe, you have to think, what am I doing wrong? If you're in here and you're not under attack, you got to think, what am I doing wrong? Like, damn, like these, it's kind of like when you see the mainstream media put something out there and then we automatically, like, we smell bullshit. When anytime they talk, we smell bullshit, right? Because they're full of it. And so anytime the mainstream says something, we're like, yeah, something ain't right. It doesn't matter what it is. They could say the Giants won yesterday, 25-23 against the Cardinals. And then you're like, I don't believe it. I got to see it. I got to see something. And so that's a good thing to have, especially coming from a source like the mainstream. But if they don't say nothing, that's also something, right? If they're quiet, that also is a indicator that, hey, there must be something to this because they're not saying anything about it, right? Because we see the mainstream isn't talking about flat earth. We know that it's like, that's a good thing. If they're going to talk about it, it's usually in jest, right? Where they're talking bad about us. And so we know we're going along the right path because we're being shat on, right? So if it's a shit rain coming from the mainstream media, we know it's right, because what are they going to praise and what are they going to promote? They're going to promote the lies that we saw yesterday, the lies as in the moon, the guys landing on the moon with the the blue ghost craziness, right? That thing they said landed on the moon at 2:00 in the morning Eastern time, making sure everybody's asleep in New York and nobody's paying attention. And then they landed a probe on the moon in the cover of darkness, right? And then they were like, yeah, by the way, we landed a probe on the moon. Anyway, so LeBron James, everybody, scored 30 points. So back in the day, it used to be a big deal to do these things. But now they're talking about it in silence. And so things like that, and then people like that coming in the chat and causing trouble, causing havoc, and making us upset. Listen, I understand. I get it. But at the same time, know that in here, it's relatively safe. From time to time, they're going to come in here. They're going to talk the shit. That's fine. That's good. Let them talk. They're going to use things like, they're going to use their trickery. They're going to use their big words. And here's the thing, man. There's a saying that says words is for lovers, dude. Words is empty. Words is empty. And so when they say things like math, and so when they say things like, oh, well, these pictures, this, that, it means nothing, because what do they come up with at the end of it all? They come up empty. They can't give us any curvature formula. They can't give us any real measurable curvature. They can't. Anytime we ask them for it, they can't do it. They can't give us, they just sent the probe to the moon. You mean to tell me on your way up and out, you couldn't give us a film? You couldn't give us the pictures? They can never give us these things that we always ask for. They can't give us these, 10,000, 11,000 satellites, whatever it is. They can't give us not one picture or film of this thing circling the globe at these tremendous speeds. Not one, not one. You got to think about that. This is 10,000 things. It's like saying I sent 10,000 people to New York. They all came back, and not one of those people, not one of those 10,000 people took a picture in New York City of New York City, or their trip or their journey from Virginia to New York and then back. All 10,000 of those people came up empty. It's like saying that. How insane would that be? And so we have to take these things at that with that same type of grain of salt, right? And we have to expect that these people, they're not going to play fair and they're not going to play nice. They never do. And so when you're looking for the truth, you tend to immerse yourself in nothing but the truth. It's kind of like when you work out, right? When you work out and you work out a lot, you want to eat good food because that goes in line with your lifestyle. That goes in line with how you live. And anything that makes your workout better, you want to follow those lines, right? You want to go in line with those things. If that means, hey, if I hang out with this person, I might get more of a workout than if I hang out with this person, where that person, all they do is talk when we go to the gym. So your priorities tend to shift, your lifestyle tends to shift, and everything tends to shift when you immerse yourself in the truth, because now the truth tends to give you different results. As these different results tend to, like your life changes, and it's crazy. And it's just like working out. As you immerse yourself in the truth, certain people start to kind of fade away into the background, and then new people fill in that void. And they could be some of the weirdest and craziest people. It's true. The weirdest and craziest people immerse themselves in the truth. But even though you're like, I don't like hanging out with weirdos, you've become a weirdo. Hello. You've become one of those weirdos. Now it's us. Now it's us. All of us in the foundry. We're all weirdos because we're that much in love with what the truth is. We don't care about the lies anymore. How pretty the lies are. How much they make us. How cool they make you look. Right. And I think a lot of people's fears come from the shame still, and it's okay. Oh, Donald Piasek, it's okay. When I say weird, it's a badge of honor to be weird. It's a badge of honor to be weird and in here. It's okay. It's all right. And Lowry, you far from normal. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So we have to accept from them that if they give us a hard time, you have to look at the lifestyle they're living. Are they surrounding themselves with people that are seeking the truth? If they're not, then it doesn't matter what they say. Yes, we can argue. Yes, we can get upset. But if they're going to be drinking, then let them drink and let them lie. If they're going to be doing drugs, let them do drugs and let them lie. They're going to go ahead and they're going to chop certain body parts off and then call themselves an elephant. They're going to call themselves Miss America. Let them do that. Let them live in their lies. That's fine. We know what it is over here, right? Or at least we think we do. We're looking for the truth. We're not concerned, or we shouldn't be too concerned about shame anymore, because the shame came big time when we were exploring this place, when we started to realize that this place ain't what it is, or it's not what we were taught. The shame was it was painful. It was painful, but we made it past that part. And since we made it past that part and we've made it into the foundry, we're going to take our lumps, but we've grown some pretty thick skin, right? And so we're pretty we're pretty familiar with their tactics, and so we need to accept them for who they are. And if they're liars, then they're liars. And part of being a liar is you're going to be a drunkard. Part of being a liar is you might very well, like lying to people, and you might make money off of it. And you might get promoted, or you might be put first in line, or you might be put first in this or that, promoted by, the streamers like YouTube. You'll be promoted like by guys on X and stuff like that. Because a lot of people, they're eating the lies is like eating candy, right? It tastes good, but it's not good for your system. It's like eating Twinkies. Everybody loves Twinkies, right? Because it's, they taste good and everything like that. But then the byproduct of Twinkies, you're going to be weak. You're going to be shitting bricks, right? You're going to be farting bad. Your fart's going to smell terrible. Not saying that your farts smell good, but they're going to be coming out bad, right? So you're putting nothing but poison in your body, no matter how it tastes. But it's the truth. It's the greens that you put into your body, right? It's the good, healthy, the good fish, water, right? Clean tea, clean food made with love that you put into your body. That's what the truth is. And so as long as we're here, we need to expect liars to come in, right? And we need to expect that these liars are going to be throwing everything at us.
But that's good. Somehow it's not bad. Can you hear me?
Yes, Sam, welcome, bro. Yes, and I can hear you.
Yeah, just to add up to what you said. Of course, we have to expect them, but somehow, when you think about it, we need them. We need them bad, because I tell you what. Not only it's good for us to train how to fight with them. it's also good because the more they talk about us, and the better it is for us. The more they draw attention on flat Earth, the more people can judge between the two sides, between us and between them. When they're going to see what kind of opposition we do have, usually they're going to realize that we're the good ones, and so that's good. That's not bad. I tell them, just keep on going. I would like to provoke them. I love to provoke them. Just come, just keep coming.
Right.
And then they give up. They give up most of the time. They give up.
Yeah, and that's not a bad point. Shout out Gio. What's happening, my brother? It's good to see you.
Can you hear me?
No, you're very low.
Oh gosh. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go
pump up that volume. You're very, very low. Joyce B in the house. Welcome, sis. Lev Kung Shaolin. Welcome. What else we got in here? Ratso. Lev Kung, Joyce B, Blue Pac-Man, welcome. Blue Pac-Man 13, welcome. Good to see you, good to see you. You sound better. Yes, you sound perfect.
All right, brother.
All right. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. CW, welcome. Good to see you, CW. Welcome. So yeah. So we were just talking about you came in, Gio, Godheart Guardian. Good to see you, family. We were talking about what we were talking about, and the person getting shit on, getting talked to bad, by a guy that called himself the drunk debunk debate show, whatever, right? Right. And so they call him TDDS for short. So this guy talking bad about one of our people, and it really broke the guy down. And so my thing is to kind of cheer the person up. I guess you could say, maybe I'm using the wrong words. I don't know. But to cheer the person up and just to let him know that it's, as with what he's found and basically related to what it is you found and what Palkus has also found, like it's some interesting stuff, right? Stuff that nobody has really seen before, right? And so with that, you're going to draw a lot of attention. You're going to get good attention. You're going to get bad attention. Expect it. Expect it, because as you get that attention, you got to be ready for the nonsense, the earth. Oh, snap. There it is.
Wow, that's nice, brother.
There it
That
is.
is lovely, bro.
It is. All right. Good to see you. Good to see
right.
it. Sandro, welcome, bro. Welcome, Sandro. Good to see you. Long time.
Figure
no
I
chat.
come dressed for the show.
All right. So with all that, you gotta expect with the good, right? As your channel grows and stuff like that, expect the bad. Expect people to try to drop pornos on your show. Expect people to talk crap about you. Expect people to make films about you and talk about how stupid you look. Oh, he thinks the earth is flat. And look at these stars. Hasn't he ever heard of aberration? We heard all the excuses. But just like Sam said, we can't live without them. That's debatable, because here's the thing. We're still looking, right? We're still trying to figure things out. That even though this place is flat, there's a bunch of questions that we still don't have answered. Okay, well, what's up there? We're being told the firmament. Well, what's really up there, right? And what's out there? Yes, this is flat. So then what is everything else? So we still have questions. There's nothing that's final. There's nothing that's answered for us, and we can't take with us the mainstream. The problem with the people on the outside, the people that are talking crap about us, they think they have all the answers. You understand? The problem with that is that we've realized that all those answers that they think they have are false. They're
Well,
all wrong. They're all lies. Go ahead,
but that
Sam.
that TDDS there, that guy, it's not the same thing because he also believes in flat Earth. He also knows of the Earth is flat because he's lying about it. He's an expert into like denying everything. He has tactics, to just like undermine people. So he knows that the Earth is flat also. So that's not there's two kinds of flat Earth of globers. That people that believe that the Earth is a globe, and people that know that the Earth is not a globe, but they're gonna fight the idea that it's flat. That's all. That's their choice, their ideology, their idea. But anyways, something that you have to know that we're at war. That means that when you come up with pictures of stars like this, it's an act of war against the globers. So at that point, you go out to war. You have to go for the kill. You have to, you cannot just like just fall like as soon as you get like like little slap in the face. You have to go. You have to expect that. That's normal. That's okay. That's all right. Just keep on going. Just keep on fighting. It's not a big deal. You can say whatever you want. It doesn't change nothing.
That's
But
right.
people are more sensitive than others, and I understand.
Yeah, I
But
agree. I agree. I agree. And we have to take that approach. You're right, because these people aren't going to fight fair. They're not going to fight fair. And so they're going to come. They're going to keep coming. So a couple of things. You drop that knowledge on them, and then you just let them have it. And then you have to present them with reality, like go out and do it. Because here's the thing, the debates are useless. We don't need the debates no more. There's no
of course,
debate. Whether they win a debate because they sound sexier or they lose a debate because they don't sound as sexy, it's not going to change the conditions.
of
It's
course,
not going to make this earth curve. You understand?
of course.
So like coming into the flat earth, I used to be like, "Oh, the debates, I can't wait." But then I'm sitting back and I'm like, "But what are they accomplishing? What are we getting with these debates? What like for what? What are you
Nothing.
doing?" Yeah, nothing. There's nothing that gets done. Now, what we have these people out here doing that's looking at these stars, we're getting stuff done. We're
Yes.
accomplishing things. And I think this is where we need to put our focus as a community. Geo, what's happening?
Sorry, bro.
Different ways in which to see this earth, right? Different ways, different techniques in which we can see this earth that we live on. Different ways in which we can see these stars that are above our heads. Different ways in which we can observe different ways in which we can observe our the sun, the moon, right? Different ways in which we can observe these things so we can learn this realm that we live in. Because anything the globe has to offer us is empty. They have nothing to bring to us. They have nothing to bring to the table. So always remember that this to us at least, to me for sure, this is all fresh and it's new. And so they're caught in a place, I feel, that they're jealous because they're seeing that the stuff that we're presenting, we're not making it up. We're just presenting like, oh, wow, this stuff is older than we thought it was. Those stars aren't what we thought they were. This ground isn't what I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? And it's making them uncomfortable because now they're like, oh my God, this is what is he talking about? My reality revolves around these lies. I can't live without my lies. I need my lies. But now you're presenting them with the truth. And so they're responsible with either taking the truth, accepting an alternative to their truth and looking into it, right? Or they can continue to eat candy and continue down that path to ultimate destruction and death and cancer and all those other things that come with eating like shit, right? Where we're presenting them with a salad. We're presenting them with something good to eat, nourishment, the truth. Nothing beats the truth. Go ahead.
No. The thing is that you're talking about like honest globers. But there are another kind of Globers that, again, that know that the Earth is flat, but they do everything to fight this idea, to fight it. And I believe that, when you investigate a little bit about, what motivates them, to do so, I believe they have some kind of a ideology. There's, it's not about money, it's not about fear, it's not about fame. It's about an ideology. You have to have like some kind of a belief in order to invest everything you got, and in order to fight something that is true. So
Mhm.
you have to have some kind of a obscure interest there. So there is something, we are, flat Earth, it's about a war. I always said it. It's about a big war. It goes way beyond just the shape of the Earth. It's a war against all lies about
Yes.
everything which is evil. It goes far. It goes very far. That's why it's dangerous. Flat Earth is dangerous because when you get in, you're in for a long ride. You're in for and then a tough war. It's not like just talking about stars and smoking
Yeah.
and drinking, and it's not that. It's also, it brings us a responsibility. Knowing things brings us to the responsibility to share that, and to fight for that, and to protect that, and to promote that. So it's not easy to be a true flat earther. I believe it's a commitment. It's also an ideology somehow.
I,
It's also some kind.
that's I 1,000% agree. You guys, your thoughts on that?
Go ahead, if you wish.
Black light.
I'll go after. Yeah.
Oh, you go ahead. You got it. I'll let you go first.
Uh, yeah, man. I came from TikTok. Is my mic is my sound
You
very
sound you sound you sound good, man.
yeah, is it squeaky?
No,
Is
no, no
squeaky like
squeaking. Mm-mm.
I came from TikTok, right? So I've been on TikTok for like 3 years, and it was a battlefield. Yes, it was a big battlefield, and I there's people inside the movement that I literally think that are paid to be there. Like it's not even a joke, and to cause division, and to cause like a different kind of like um, uh, different ways of viewing the earth. Like just as an example, like most of us believe that the earth is like this, like behind me right here, North Pole in
Mhm.
the center and Antarctica around us. That's how I made my model too. But there there was a big influence coming on TikTok, just as an example, from like 3 4 different people that are very outspoken on TikTok, that flipped it, that tried to flip it. They tried to put Antarctica in the center and North Pole in the outside, so that they make the attention the North Pole instead of the South Pole, and try to divert from the South Pole, like literally. Like
Mm.
I've never heard of people. I've met like 3 different generations on TikTok. By that I mean like 3 different set of flat earthers groups, family that came up there and that supported it and left, and then one, and then the next one, like a good set of people came in there and left, and then I met 3 different ones of them, and the first ones were the ones that would agree with this completely. And then
Mhm.
the second generation, a little bit more, started shifting away, and the third generation was like, I don't know. I guess they, I guess the evils that be started investing money into like trying to like shut it down on there. If you understand what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and cause division and cause like chaos. It's literally chaos on TikTok, bro.
Right.
Chaos. And I stopped. They
Yeah.
stopped me, sadly though. Sadly though, they stopped me.
But that's not bad either. That's not bad either because I tell you what, we are at the beginning of something big. That's why we're small. And I tell you something. I believe that the points of us talking now between us, about all kinds of subject, is not to convince the entire world, that the Earth is flat. For now, the first step I believe will be to gather the best of us, like an elite of flat earthers, the best ones. We don't want like anybody. We want the best, only the best of the best. And out of this, if we manage to do that, to gather the best of the best together, like a tight group, like a tight, uh, I believe out of this we'll be able then to conquer the rest of the people. But
Mhm.
so far, we're not that organized. We like wild animals, like flocks of animals, like in the wild, without protection. And people come and hunt us
Pick
down,
us
at
one by
will.
one.
Yeah.
But I
So
wonder, I
that's
wonder
okay.
if
That's
that's,
fine.
I was gonna say, I wonder if that's our strength is the disorganized. I wonder, like because I hear what you're saying, but I wonder if that's what makes us so strong is that we're so disorganized. And
Yes.
because of that disorganization and that chaos, it they don't know how to, it's like, you understand what I'm saying? They
It's
all they can
exactly
do
true.
is get one, and then you've got like you still have like thousands or
It's
millions, and
a,
you're like,
It's
Nah,
exactly true. It's
"Ah,
just like the gypsies. The gypsies are like, all over the
yes,
place. They have no land, no people. So even during the last World War, they killed a lot of gypsies, but they cannot catch all of them because everyone is like. So in order to survive in a situation where you have to survive, you are right. This is the best thing to be. It's like like dispersed. However, if you want to go on the other mode into an attack mode and conquering mode, you have to I believe we have to be more organized. We can be like scattered all over the place, but also we have to have some kind of like a structure, like maybe an underground structure, something to be hidden. I don't know, but at one point we're gonna have to
I
be
hear you.
organized to fight back.
Yeah, yeah,
Can I
black
speak to
light.
that point?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think what y'all both saying make a lot of sense when we think about like when we just take like the civil rights movement for example. They
Hmm.
know the way to stop it, you cut off like the head of the snake, so to say. Once they kill Martin and Malcolm, everything slowed.
Hmm.
But with the flat earth, even though I don't know who is the first person that you all found out about or who it might be the leading person you all listen to, but if Eric DeBay was to stop talking about it today, that wouldn't be the end of flat earth. There's a bunch of
Yeah,
people who listen to Bro Sanchez, a bunch of people who listen to you. There's a bunch of people on the different, a bunch of different platforms that still believe in it. So I agree with what you're saying with like somewhat like the disorganization, with us not being like a collective movement where we come together and meet. They can't
hmm,
just
No.
take all of the steam out of the movement just by, taking the
hmm.
credibility from any one person. So I think that
I
was a good point.
Yeah, and so there's truth. Like I think there's truth in both sides, and you're like, I guess I like how you kind of merged what Sam and I said together, right? And so I'd say the best example of that is seeing the effect of Jaren and David Weiss and all them, what they expected to happen with the final experiment
Yeah.
just made the community even bigger because
Yeah.
all they did was like scratch an itch thinking they were going to get rid of that itch. They just made more warts. You know what I'm saying? They just made more problems because they just made the problem of the flat earth a bigger problem.
yeah,
Now
that's how it's
people,
always been though. That's how it's always been though. Like
yeah,
it keeps on like growing and growing and growing. The more they try to shut it down.
right. And so it doesn't help when people, and my thing is, it doesn't help when people are uncomfortable. Because when you're uncomfortable, whether you've got a splinter in your foot or you got a bullet wound or something, you're going to look for a solution to that discomfort. And you will look to alternative means. It doesn't matter what it is. But if something makes you uncomfortable, you're going to look at some of the most wildest ways in order to get over that discomfort. And so you start looking in places that you never thought you'd look. You're like, well, what's is there a remedy in this whole flat earth thing? I think with people being sick and tired of the same BS they come across, for example, this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. Oh, we're going to get the results. And then it turns out that they get a page full of black stuff, and people are like, I'm tired. Like you have the people that have finally lost it, and they're like, I need to look somewhere else because the places that I've been looking obviously aren't going to give me the truth. Let me see what the alternative is. And here we are. We're like, hey, look at, you might want to come. It's like our store is always open. We're like 7-Eleven out here. The store is always open. Come on in, take a look. You don't have to buy anything. Go ahead, Black Light.
One thing I want to say, kind of speaking to that same last point, though, I do feel like Going back to the Lord Jamar Godfrey thing, I do feel like that worked in the opposite way, worked in their favor because Lord Jamar, his voice had gotten so big on the side of flat Earth that when he debated with Professor Dave, I do feel like people looked at that as like, oh well, somebody who was willing to debate the flat Earth, he couldn't do it, so it kind of took the steam out of that. But that's why I also agree with. I think you said it earlier, and I saw somebody else put it as a comment. I also feel like the flat Earth debates are useless. I feel
Of
like
course,
because you're trying to
totally.
prove your side to somebody, it's not like the person on the other side wants to listen or even be converted. They're arguing the point. So what I think is more helpful, like I have a cousin, for example. I remember when I came into the flat earth and I was talking to him about it, he wasn't so much trying to prove me wrong, but he was asking me for, basically like proofs. And I've had this same thing happen with other people where like people would say like, well, okay, if the earth is flat, well, explain this then. And I appreciate that more than, somebody just saying, oh, it can't be flat because this and that. We know that's not true. So I think if, like, let's just say somebody like Lord Jamar, for example, instead of a debate, if he just had like an open platform where it's like, all right, I feel the earth is flat. If anybody's interested in it, even if you disagree, you can come on, we could talk about it. But to make it a debate, I feel like is when it basically, I feel like you limit kind of what
Yeah.
you can do there. Just if
Mhm.
somebody's interested, you say, hey, I heard you said the earth is flat. I want to know your reasonings. Those are the people that we need to be talking to.
Right.
But
Yeah.
people that just don't want to hear from it or just want to prove you wrong, I feel like it's pointless even talking to them. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
My personal
Yeah.
beliefs is that we are human beings and we can have conversations and that's it. We can agree to disagree and we can like share thoughts to each other and maybe one is gonna enlighten you, maybe one is just gonna enforce your opinion and you know what I mean? And that's
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah,
Like none of us holds the full truth. None of us.
Mhm. That's true. That's true. And I
We hold it
think
collectively.
that's
Yeah,
right. That's right. And I
exactly.
think even still, um, even though we like agree that the earth is not doing what they say that it's doing, we still have our own little differences, right? Everybody's got their own small differences. Some believe that there's a firmament. Some believe that, Antarctica, after Antarctica, there ain't nothing else, right? There's just firmament. After the firmament, there ain't no after the firmament. That's it, right? Some people believe that there's more out there.
More
And
lands,
then
bro.
right, more lands, there's bigger, there's more. Some people believe that. But one thing that we come to, the one conclusion that we draw, that we all agree on, is that it's flat and it don't move, right? And I think in that is where we find our strength. That is where we know we can rely on each other, that we know we're not full of it. Like we know it's flat. It's not, there's no argument behind that, right? All the other stuff, we're like, sure, if you want to believe that, I don't care. You're my brother in arms in this flat plane that we're living in, right? Black light.
I think our strength is also in being able to put our egos to the side because there's a guy that I met. We I was into the flat earth and I didn't know he was already into it as well. And when we came to talk about it, I remember one thing he said that stuck with me was a strong feeling that I had. It's like when he was saying, like, man, like when I first found out, I felt stupid. Like, I believe this all this time. Like, how didn't I recognize this? I think all of us had to come to that point thinking we really thought we knew what was going on, and we all had to set that aside and say, I really didn't know what was going on, even though I thought I did.
Yep.
I think that's another strength of ours. And I think that's I don't know, just
Hey,
goes just with I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, man. There,
No,
there,
you go.
there are people. All right, there are people that could hang on to that thought and it stays in their head, and there are people that will despise it. They will
Yes.
despise it like
Yes.
completely. Like they don't want to hear about it. It's a globe, and and that's it. I've met a lot of people. I have Airbnb in my house. So I have two Airbnbs and a couple of long term rentals. But I get to meet a lot of people. Also, Aruba is a cultural island, and we do house a lot of tourists that comes from everywhere. I meet Canadians, Argentinians, Brazilians, Colombians. I meet all kinds of people, Europeans, and I get to like intellectually talk to some people, and then I get to like battle with some people to try to like stuff, and they keep on coming back, man. That's the funny part. Like
They want
just
more.
just as an example, bro. Just as an example, bro. I had somebody that came from Canada. He was a pretty smart guy, but he had this ignorant mindset, bro. Like he didn't. He keeps on coming back. He comes back. He came back like 3 times. The first time, like he couldn't believe it. The second time, literally, he came back for flat Earth, bro. That was it. He didn't come back for nothing else, man. Because he could have he could have taken any other Airbnbs on the island, man. He came for flat Earth because when we sat down after he checked in and all that, and the days went by, his head is like deflating from the whole stress from traveling from Canada to Aruba. And he sits down with me and he's like, "Hey, Max, the thing you told me, bro. Can you tell me more?" I'm like, "You don't want to hear it, bro." He's like, "Yeah, I do." But I'm like, "You really don't want to hear it because the way that you react, you're not open-minded for it. It's because sometimes you see how people react to it and they don't do it intelligently with an open mind and try to think on the other side of the dime. They just stick to the fucking ball and that's it, even though they have no evidence of it." You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
And
And
as much as I hate to say it, that's sorry, Iron. I don't want to.
No, it's okay.
no.
Bro,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's why I don't even talk about it as much. Like in 2016, when I first found out about it, I was talking to everybody that I ran across. And over the years, just seeing how people react now, I might, if I feel the urge to bring it up to you, if somebody says, no, I don't think it's flat, whatever, I don't even go any further into it with them. Like if they say, why do you think that? Or, if they ask the questions, if they seem like, they're interested, I'll go into it. But I don't even bother to waste time with the people who have those emotional
Strong.
reactions or just want to
Yeah.
argue with me.
Yeah. And you know what? Those are really, really good points in that, because we like it's like that Christian that just gets baptized, that gets born again, and then they want to tell everybody about Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But they're so excited, they got that fire in their belly. After a while, it's like anything else. You run out of steam. You start you're like, all right, I have to go to those that aren't going to give me this headache, that have a genuine interest in understanding. I just can't drop it in everybody's lap and just force feed them this information, no matter how exciting I am about it. And so the ego, I think, is the biggest. You know what? I think the ego is
Yep.
the biggest one, because
People
that's
don't
like
want to
being born.
believe that they were wrong.
Yeah.
They
And
don't want to feel
I had
stupid.
to, and like to me, I think that's the biggest one. And it's like, again, being born again, right? And you have to see everything. You have to drop everything. So all that quote unquote progress you think you made, even if you scored an A in all the galactic astronomy, this astronomy, hot pastrami, it doesn't matter. If you scored big scores in all these things, and then now you have to shed them, and you have to
Yep.
be like, oh, it's been a lie. I've been lied to. And it's hard because you're like, but I'm smart. I'm smart. And then you're like, maybe I'm not as smart as I thought
Yep.
I was.
It's
That's
more
And
like
what it
so
it's
the
more
is.
like it's
ego,
more like I can be a lie. It can be a
yes,
lie.
it can exactly. You're like, so you mean to tell me I wasted? And that's the part. So that's like a crossroads, it looks like to me, that people come to. They can either be like, I'm gonna shed it, but that means I've wasted, and I have to come to terms with, I've wasted years of my life learning this art, right?
Yep.
Or I'm going to stick to the lie.
Yep.
I'm going to
but
stick with the lie, and then that's what life is going to be. I'm just going to stick with it, and I'm going to go with it. Go ahead,
this is
Sam.
what
Sorry.
this is when you're becoming smart. It's when you realize that you are stupid. When you understand that you're stupid, that you were stupid, In my experience, I got mad. I got mad. So I was stupid. I thought I
Oh
was smart.
yeah.
I was stupid. Now I'm gonna show them.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
understand? You understand? So
Mhm.
so so that's when you start. When you start thinking. When something you start thinking. You start. So you need that. You need like to realize that you were fool, that you were stupid, because that makes you,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
And
And
builds you.
it's growth. It's a to me, I saw it as I didn't see it as growth at the time, but it made just like you. I was pissed and it made me feel I felt vulnerable. I felt vulnerable because I was like, I accepted all of these lies. I was like, what else is a lie? So anytime I saw the news, I got disgusted and I was
Yes,
pissed even more. I was like, so you're lying about that. So it's like I get this visceral reaction anytime I see like they're like, oh, look at what we did to the moon. We threw a bomb on it. And I'm like, oh, there you go. And then it comes out. That reaction comes out, and I'm like, you got me at a place where it's like, man. But then, it's telling because again, that's how, it's kind of like when somebody tries to if you're an alcoholic, right? And then you break away from the alcohol and then you
exactly.
see the good things that come from leaving alcohol because it ruined your life and you didn't even know it. You were scratching yourself thinking you were itching everywhere and you were comfortable in something as because the alcohol brought you comfort. Something as poisonous as that and what it's doing to your body. When you decide you want to accept something new, you drink water, you clean your life up, you see the benefits of it. And then what happens is when somebody, hey, listen, there's nothing wrong if you're drinking alcohol and there's no strike. I drink alcohol sometimes. It's fine, right? But it's the it's when you've changed your life and you've changed for the better and you see the benefits that leaving that old life behind is like when somebody comes to you and they present to you that alcohol, that reaction that you get, right? That feeling of disgust almost. Some people,
Yes.
not all, but some where you almost get mad and you're like, some people might get mad and be like, what the F are you putting in my face? Do you
Well,
know what I had to go through in order to walk away from that? And you're going to put this in my face? You know
Hey,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
it's like when you say that you never know really what you have until you lose it,
Yep.
and that's for good, also for bad. That means, like, I used to smoke also, like 2 packs a day, Cravenet and whatever, and one day I got mad. One day I just stopped. It's just that's it. And I just threw the 2 packs of cigarettes, and that was over. But the thing is that after that, you smell the cold tobacco. You smell, you
It's
close, you
disgusting,
smell the
man.
house. It's, wow, it's disgusting. And
Disgusting,
Yeah.
man.
But you don't
whoa,
know. You don't know when you're smoking. When you're smoking, you have
no,
no idea.
Yep.
You're just
Yep.
like, oh, I'm
yeah,
just smoking.
yeah, yeah, that's it.
I'm a 10 years old flat earther, like about 10 years old. And the time that I started understanding, I had a long way before I got to flat earth. I was GMO first, Bill Gates. I think Bill Gates or GMO for well, actually 9/11 when I was a kid, was standing in classroom and I saw that and I just stared at the TV for a pretty long while. I'm like, this shit is not real. But that stayed in the back of my head for a long time, and then I started seeing like weird stuff happening, and I was like, man, what is going on? There's something wrong with with,
Right.
with where we live at. You know what I mean? I went
Yep.
from Bill Gates, GMO, and then deciphering 9/11 Commission report. Then I saw a video from it was a BBC documentary that an old lady, it sounded like an old lady like narrated it, and I was basically the only person here on the island that believed that the Earth was flat. And not just that, just it was a very small selective group that I know that believed the Earth was flat. It was Flat Earth asshole. I don't know if you know about that. Jake the
Jake the
asshole.
asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake the
Mhm.
asshole. Yeah, now I hate him now, but literally, bro, he woke me up.
Yeah.
Like he has a video.
Yeah, he was one of the channels that I got into as well, yeah.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
was a he had a video that's called Mini Moons. I don't know if you ever seen that.
I'm gonna check that out. I don't
It's
really
okay.
watch him anymore like I used to.
Yeah,
He's
me neither.
yeah,
I
but
believe that he was bought.
yeah.
You, anyways, I don't
No.
even want to. I don't want to share like the bad stuff about the flat Earth. But him, the rapper, the rapper, the white
Oh,
guy.
B.O.B.
B, no, not Bob. That's not the white guy.
White guy.
Bob. I love Bob too. But he was kind of like not even short hair. He was almost bald. Uh, he's pretty good, man. He was pretty good. Him, sorry, I can't remember the name, but Flat Earth Asshole,
I think
uh,
ODD. Somebody said ODD.
ODD TV. That's absolutely correct.
ODD
Uh,
TV. Yep. Okay. Stephanie
that
McGuire. Okay. Shout out to y'all that's calling it out.
do you know ODD TV when he used to do
Negative,
his
but
thing?
I'm
Oh, okay,
writing.
okay,
I am writing it
okay.
down.
Yeah. He has good content, bro. His content is still gold. Um, Flat Earth Millionaire came after. I don't know if you heard of him.
Hmm.
He has a ranch. He has a big. He was gonna put big money to like do some big stuff, but I don't know. Something happened and it all died out. But anyways, I was by myself, bro. I was by myself, and it felt really bad because I had this itch. I had this big itch on me that I wanted to tell everybody what's going on, and nobody wanted to listen. So I literally was depressed for 2 freaking years, bro, and it's not even a joke. 2 years of depression. I was in my family, nobody in my family believed anything, right? Now my sister is a believer. My other sister, she has kids, so it's a little bit more touchy of a subject, right?
Hmm.
But they're all like they know what I've been saying for 5-7 years when I started getting comfortable and started to explain the whole theory and stuff like that, explaining the science behind of it. Because 10 years ago, I didn't know how to explain anything, brother. I knew that it was something wrong. I didn't know how to explain anything. That's the difference because there is not a lot of like documentary videos that are compiled together. It was all being made at the moment. You understand what I'm saying? Now
Hmm.
you have thousands and thousands of videos and all that, and you can choose from all kinds of perspective, different points, different theories. You can choose from it all. But back then it was flat Earth. That's it. Nobody wanted to discuss like what is the total
Well,
shape. Like people were like measuring the flatness, and Antarctica was a big subject. But yeah, it was a hard time. Like
well,
yeah.
imagine what I live here in Israel. Here in Israel, is different. I'm in the middle of a Jewish community, religious Jewish community. That means people that learn the Torah, that learn that like all knowing, and they know secrets, that they know the truth, because we call that the book of truth. And you have people that learn Kabbalah, and so you are in the world of like knowledge and deep knowledge. And when you talk to these people, that are within the Torah, that know it by heart, they're gonna say, no, the earth is a globe, it's not flat. What are you talking about? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You're in
Yeah.
an elite of like knowing people that know things. Believe me, we know a lot of things in the Torah, and they don't even understand the basics. They
Yeah.
don't. They don't understand. So this drives me nuts, because this says, I realize that, whoa, wait a second, there's something wrong here. You have a book here that says it like a million times that the Earth is flat. You have
In a million
experts
different ways.
experts in that book that learned that for like
Yep.
3,000 years, and they're gonna say, oh no, you kidding me? The Earth is not flat. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You
Have you
imagine?
been right? You claim to be, and I wonder because it's a thing of respect also. It's a thing of respect because you're like, I respected these, and it's not like you want to
No,
disrespect them
no,
because
I
you're like,
wish.
I kind of,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not good. I still love them and respect them. The thing is that I
yeah,
realize how deep we are being intoxicated, because if these people can believe the
they
opposite of
were,
what they're
right,
reading every day, whoa, that means that
yes,
the poison is like much more
yep,
much more powerful than what I thought. But the thing is that here, when you sit down with people are like open-minded to, they might be in the religion, but the smart guy usually they like to think also. So when you sit down and you talk to them about this, and you start bringing like evidence from the book, they're gonna listen. They listen, and a lot of people already start like having different thoughts. But also Jews are like infiltrated by all kinds of different sects of Freemasons or whatever people. There's it's in Israel. It's we are being also attacked from within big time. So that's normal. I respect that. I respect my enemies because they're playing good. They're doing a good job. They have lots of qualities. That we are the ones that don't do our job. I believe that we are the ones that let them do, let them gain so much or hold so much, because we're talking before that about our strength. So I
Right.
agree 100% with you that being dispersed, not organized, it's the best way to survive. They cannot kill us all. They cannot grab us. They cannot
Oh yeah.
finish us. So when you're on the survival mode, that's the best situation. That's the tactic you can
Spread out.
do.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that we have to understand is that at one point we're going to have to fight these people. At one point we're going to have to take back our Earth, because what's the point of knowing
Great.
all this, knowing that we are being lied, and don't do nothing. We're just going to keep on talking about it. Okay,
No,
I
you're
didn't know I
right.
was in jail. Now I know that I'm in jail. So what's the point now? I'm going to maybe start thinking about escaping
Yeah.
the jail. So at one point we're going to have to get up, and this is going to be like another situation, another battlefield, where we're going to have also to survive and to protect ourselves,
Yep.
but also to attack, to counter strike, because this is the only way. I believe this is the only the only way it should go, because what to do with all that knowledge, with all
Yeah.
that.
No, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely the truth.
So I'm
And I
thinking about
think,
this.
yeah, and and that's so true, because it's like, okay, how much more? Like I feel that like a lot of these channels, everybody brings something. And if you're in the flat earth, you bring something to the community, because there's something that interests us, right? So much that we like talk about it so much. You have people that talk about the firmament, right? And why that's real. You have people that talk about, the distance and why that's such a big deal and why that's so important. You have people that talk about, you can't have, gas in one place and then a vacuum in another place. It doesn't work. And then they focus on this, and then everybody has something to add to the gumbo. You know what I'm saying? And so every time, I think it's good that we discuss it, but it's like now we need to push it further. We need
What?
to move forward with it. Now I know Black Lightning had something before you get in there on it, Sam. But yeah, hold on to that thought, Sam. Black Lightning, go ahead, bro.
I feel like this would be a good time to bring up the original point that I was talking about with the planets aligning. So
Yes.
I haven't heard you mention it, but I was wondering, have you heard about like basically the Earth, the way that they present in the solar system? We should never be able to see the planet Venus at night.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You haven't realized that?
No.
Yeah, you should check it out.
If
Check
if
it out.
Venus is in between
Oh yeah,
us
yeah.
and the
Mercury
sun,
and Mercury.
you would
Wait,
only be
no.
able to see Venus on the daylight side of the Earth.
Exactly.
You would
Yeah,
never
yeah.
see Venus.
Yes.
And I wanted to bring this up to you like earlier, because I know that they've been talking now about like they've been saying that the planets are aligning. I've been seeing people
Yes.
post all on Twitter about seeing Venus. But if you can see Venus, the solar system can't be the way that they presented it to us.
Right.
Of course,
It's
we know
Can't
you
that.
know
be
what?
at night.
Yes, and so before the planetary alignment, I know Bro Sanchez mentioned this years ago. I know he mentioned it years ago. And so I was like, well, there's another feather in our hat. And I'm already like, but I was like, and so this is what I'm talking about, right? It's like another thing. And so
Yeah, I just
it's
wanted to
like a
add that
relief,
while you were
but at the
talking
same,
about what we had.
yeah, it's a relief, but at the same time, it's just more frustration, and it just strengthens. And every time we get proof like that, it just strengthens our resolve. And what it shows is that it's like, see, I knew I wasn't crazy. It's like, again, anytime, it's not like it's because we could keep doing the distance formula, right? And then it's like, oh, it's getting farther and farther, 900 miles, 1,000 miles. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when you see something like that, it's like, okay, see, I knew I wasn't crazy, even though we knew that it was flat.
Yeah.
It's like we're like, again, another thing. Here's another thing and another thing. And now it's like you can present this to somebody. And so they're going to, and again, they're going to be like, well, that doesn't make any sense because don't the planets do this? And it's about, but they're so caught up in the weeds that, and we're so far along in the flat earth stuff that presenting to somebody that doesn't understand or doesn't see it, the flat earth in the first place, if we start talking about the planetary alignment and how it doesn't make sense on a flat earth, and it doesn't work at all on a flat earth, they'd be out in the woods. They wouldn't get it because
You guys-
for them it's a globe, period, and they don't understand the bare bones basics of our argument as to why it's flat. But
you
yeah,
guys-
like,
Sorry.
go ahead, Gio.
Do you guys know Asmongold?
As who?
Asmongold. I'm not inviting anybody to go see his channel, but he had an episode. He has like 3.4 million followers.
Mhm.
And he's his fans are gamers, and he's
Okay.
just a streamer, and he's a gamer. He is doing a lot of politics lately, and
Right.
he kind of has a very sharp, open mind. Not for the flat earth yet, but there's stuff that he says that is striking the audience hard, bro. And he's reviewing. He's doing the whole Elon Musk and Trump like he's he's making his comments on all their clips that they're making. And there was a clip that Joe Rogan put out. I hate Joe Rogan, by the way, just
Yeah,
FYI
me
for
too. I don't
everybody
like it.
else. But there's I still I still pay attention, right? So he put out a clip with Elon Musk, and they're sitting there, and he starts off the video saying, "Oh, this is what these guys do. They just get high and have a podcast." So
Yep.
they start talking. And it's all about the corruption that's going on. That Doge is supposedly
Mm.
Hey, flip Doge. Just think about this for 1 second.
Mhm.
Flip Doge around for 1 second. Flip it.
EGOD.
Oh, you know about that already, right?
Well, I saw somebody write it. out.
Yeah, right. EGOD.
EGOD, like
that's-
electronic or
Yep.
internet god.
Yep, that's absolutely correct, bro. That's exactly what's happening. And we've been talking about that for a long time. Anyways, so the whole they're finding corruption everywhere, right? Money here, money there, billions and billions of dollars being misspent, going into like organizations that are not putting America first, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And he kind of like mentions flat earth in most of his like podcasts, and saying it in a way that he doesn't attack flat earth, but he
Right.
says it like to his audience, right? Because he does a lot of like sharp like attacks to his audience sometimes, and then step back. So he would be saying like, it's kind of like when you're trying to introduce the flat earth topic into an argument, like people will shut it down right away. They don't want to. They would never like listen to that side of it. So he kind of makes comments like that. That's not like literally attacking flat earth. That's telling people that people are not open minded to listen to certain things, right?
Mhm.
So Joe Rogan asks Elon Musk. It was a couple of days ago that he did this, and he's like, "So Elon Musk, is there any like advanced propulsion system that they are hiding from you inside your SpaceX, whatever, or somebody else into the whole like space race community that is building this engine that is more advanced than the Raptor?" Because of course, everybody in the chat, I believe it's all bullshit, but Elon Musk goes like, so he Asmongold pauses the video. He's like, "Oh, there better be some kind of crazy engine being built," and he's coming from the perspective from what I see over the internet, bro. MSN.com, Google.com news section, and all these other news section, Facebook news sections, interesting engineer the pages. They always promote like, oh, there's this new engine that is coming out that's gonna take us to Mars in a couple of days instead of
In
8
the
months.
speed of light is the
Right?
latest thing.
Right?
The
Exactly.
speed of light. I said,
Exactly.
okay.
So
Yeah, exactly.
so Joe Rogan asked him the question, like, is there some kind of like crazy technology that is being built anywhere? You know, he kept it very open, and he asked it to Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is like, I got the highest clearance of access to every single door inside my, my fakery bakery industry that I am in, but there's nothing. He says it bluntly. He bluntly says that there's nothing. I don't know anything that is being built aside from my engine, which is the Raptor, that he's making thousands of right now, or hundreds of right now. He's making them like a lot. Now his rocket has 33 engines, but he still can't get to the fucking moon because they got to the moon with 3 engines.
Exactly.
70 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Engines, right. Which, hold on, before we continue, Porter, what's happening, brother? It's good to see you, man.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome.
Hello.
All right,
How y'all
welcome.
doing
It's
tonight?
good to see. We doing our thing, man. We doing our thing, and Brenda's also in the house, y'all. Brenda, welcome.
Oh.
Oh, hello.
What's up?
No, I apologize. No, I apologize. I was, I'm in pain. I'm in a certain amount of pain, so I'm sorry about that.
Are you okay?
I pulled a muscle near one of my ribs.
Oh,
So it's like, it's not like serious. It's not like anything doctors can do, but it's painful. And I mean, you can't do anything about a pulled muscle
yeah.
close to your rib cage.
Those
You
suck.
it just sucks until it gets better.
Yeah. So when you cough, you feel it, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Put some aloe vera. Put some aloe vera.
Huh? Okay.
Aloe vera is good. It's good for you.
Yeah, I was just
Go ahead.
wondering, Vlad, about I'm worried about Mikey Smith.
Right.
I worried about him.
Well, thank you for being worried about him.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if maybe you or somebody had any plans of like holding a fundraiser for him so that he can buy gas to get back home.
He has money for that. He doesn't need money for that.
Yeah. The
Said he
fundraiser.
doesn't.
I think we've been.
He said
I think
he
we've
doesn't
been.
have money.
I think we've been taking care of Mikey and his coffers.
Well, I don't know, so I'm just asking. I saw him crying on stream, and I felt very sorry for him.
Not
So
about the gas. It's
What?
about the. It's not about the gas. He didn't cry about the gas. He was a
Yeah.
little upset about something else. But somebody that
What some stuff that we're discussing actually, Brenda.
Mhm.
Some stuff that we're actually discussing. Much of the tonight's topic is about some of that.
about his phone bill.
Why are you hold on, Brenda, real quick. Why
'Cause
are you putting his finances? Chicago Cubby Bear, welcome, brother. It's good to see
What's
you,
up,
man.
Bear?
Hey man.
Why are you putting my man's finances on Jump Street? Like, why are you putting his shit on blast? Oh, yo,
No,
Black
no.
Light, you on silence. You on mute.
Because I have compassion for other people, and I feel for him.
No, that's
And
not
I'm-
having compassion. That's like
Yes, it is.
that's like you putting people's business on the street like that. Nah, that's
I'm
different,
not the
man.
one.
You know
I'm not
that's
the one
different.
who made the stream, right? And
Uh,
I would donate. I would donate to any fundraising effort that was made. That's what I'm talking about. I would donate to Mikey Smith
Then
to
donate.
help him to pay for his expenses.
Brenda, we wanted Mikey to come down here, and we've also made it clear that we would help to fund his expenses while down in the United States. Why
Yeah.
are you deliberately going around and mentioning other problems that you claim that he has? Oh, he has this, he has that. You know why? I'm asking.
I'm talking about. All I've said is I feel sorry for him. I have compassion for people, and I would like to donate to him if possible,
Donate.
because it seems like he's having trouble financially.
Well,
Donate, Brenda. Then
Are
donate.
you-
I'll take some money if you're putting it out.
I
Well, then
also need
hold it.
money, Brenda. I need money. Just please
So do
send
you?
me some money. I have
Yeah.
so many problems. You have no idea. Just I'll send you the my account number. If you can
Oh,
send me like
so
money like regularly, like if you could like once a week or
I don't
something.
understand why you're opposed
Blacklight,
to having a
Blacklight, you
fundraiser.
are on mute.
Yeah, he's a flat earther. Flat earthers can't tech.
Oh, right. I'm because we're stupid, Brenda. That's what it is. We're dumb. Go ahead, Blacklight.
Yes, absolutely, you are.
Go ahead, Blacklight.
I
Brenda.
didn't want to interrupt, and you told me about this person, Brenda, before. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just now realizing that's who this is. I was confused by the whole tone of voice and everything that
Yep.
seems to be a distraction, but I get it now.
Yeah.
Well, that's a you issue, whether or not you're distracted
Yeah,
by my.
that's just me. That's
You
just
know,
me.
That's
So
that's
yeah.
you
I get
issue.
it now.
You noticed
So
that just
Brenda,
out of a few minutes.
what's up? What's up, Porter? Go ahead.
So he noticed that just in the first time of listening to Brenda's conversation. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's why he was laughing.
Y'all
Because
notice
he
how
already
That's
like,
just a you issue. You know, it's a brave new world. Get used to it.
Brenda, yo, if you want to help Mikey out, then help Mikey out. There goes his payment
Well, I think
information down there. And then you could go ahead, you could put some love on that right there.
I
Right?
think
Mikey horizontal right there, down there. Now you got me talking like Harmon. Okay. So you could go ahead and you could put that in there. And then you can
why are you opposed to having like say a fundraiser for him
fundraiser. Why? When he has a PayPal.
to spread awareness and it helps
Awareness
to
of
raise
what?
money? He's
Awareness
having
for what?
financial troubles.
Brenda, again, yo, you putting people's business out there
He
that
says he
doesn't need to
is.
be. So Brenda,
He put
thank you
his business out there.
for entertaining us tonight.
He
I
put his
wish
business
you
out there.
I
Vlad.
wish you to have a good day, man. You have a
Yeah,
good night.
You're a
Peace, Brenda.
despicable
Thank you.
person. You're a horrible
am.
person.
I am
bless.
a horrible, horrible
Abandon your
I'm
friends that you encouraged to go
abandoned.
there.
No,
You
you're right.
abandoned
Right,
them.
I have.
Yes.
I've
You
abandoned them.
encouraged him to go.
I'm
Yeah.
abandoned. I'm the
Yeah.
hamburger. Good night.
Thank you.
The
Thank you, Vlad.
hamburger strikes again.
Thank you,
Get that
Vlad.
rib
That's
fixed.
we should talk about her problems.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
Him, his.
Him's problem.
I got 3 fractured ribs right now, y'all. So everybody's okay.
Did you just broke your ribs? Oh wait, you
Yeah.
broke your ribs a few weeks ago.
Yeah, like
Oh.
2 weeks ago. I'm just
Yeah.
now laying on my chest. Last night, well,
yeah,
about 3 nights in now,
Mhm.
being
Thanks
able
for-
to lay on my chest. Yeah, it's a
Thanks,
bad
What
man.
happened, bro? What happened?
accident. Wasn't my
Oh,
fault.
shit.
Lord.
Yeah. Okay.
Wasn't my fault, but and
Damn
I'm
it.
not suing nobody. I'm not trying to get a check.
Yeah. Nah. We
And I'm
my fault.
and I'm complaining about a lower back compression, and I'm complaining about a lower back compression. Fucking 3
I mean,
ribs.
if that person is hurt, I hope they get better. No ill intent, no ill will. But
Yeah,
the condescending, that little condescending undertone that person has towards
Oh
Mike
yeah.
and what he's trying to accomplish is not necessary. And
Yeah.
we
Oh,
see
no.
through it.
Yeah, and that's what it is, man. Like Brenda's coming in here to distract. We know Brenda's game, and that's what I'm talking about. And so my thing is, we let them in. We let them. You
Vlad.
see the type of stuff that they're on, and kind
Vlad.
of like what you said, Sam. They're necessary to a degree. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Let them in. Let them talk, and then they kind of show their hand, and
That's
then
it.
people understand the game that they're on. They're not about
Exactly.
anything serious. They're not about promoting the truth or anything like that. So, like you saw, you're a despicable human being, Vlad.
Out of nowhere.
Vlad, you're a bandit, Vlad. You're a robber. You're a robber baron. Shame on you. You know what I'm saying? Brenda coming in here with that nonsense, man. But I'm like, okay, Brenda, we entertain it. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good day, man.
Hey,
But,
do you know if he goes on TikTok?
Brenda,
Because
probably.
I think I heard him in one of our lives a couple of days ago, but disguised in another name though. And I was like, "You're Brenda," and he's like, "No, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "You are Brenda. What are you doing here, bro? Get the."
You abandoned
Yeah.
my friends, Vlad. Shame on you. A shame. And I'm
That's
like,
one thing
"Man,
about
you're
a
crazy."
content creator, Vlad. You recognize the little nuances of people's voice because you're not around them personally. So I think once you do these lives and stuff like that, and you talk to people, it's like you can pick them out of a crowd when you hear it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
Everybody
like,
knows.
yeah,
Everybody knows Brenda here, though.
everybody
knows
does.
it,
And
yeah.
I think that's what Brenda wants to achieve. And it's a form of
Unfortunately.
distraction. Yeah, go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
Just to you're talking, and I was thinking about this, and I was asking myself, like, what's going to be next? Because so far we've got, we had the mockeries, we had the insults, we had the, but all that doesn't work for them. Everything they're trying. I'm not talking about like Brenda because it's something else, but what do they have?
Right.
What's left for them? To try to hurt us, because they tried everything so far. So
Yes.
this is why I'm talking about the future, because I believe that the next stage, in order to stop us, or to undermine us, will be to, again, like we said before, to make like false flag operations, to make us illegals.
Yep.
To say, okay, whoever is a flat earther is a terrorist, because here that guy killed somebody, and he put a bomb in the United Nations, and he was a flat eurser, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to come to that point. You have to understand that. So far we're having a good time. But
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's going
Because
to come to
that's
that
what
point.
that's right. That's what it looks like now. It's like, oh, the flat earthers, they're harmless, this and that. Next thing you know how people are. They're like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, you're a flat earther. What? Oh my God, didn't the guy that blew up, freaking McDonald's or something like that right there on 43rd Street in Manhattan? He was a flat earther.
Like,
Do,
is that,
do,
is that
do
for
you
real?
remember?
Is that for
Remember?
real?
Oh no.
Remember
No.
Oh,
No.
oh shit! I was like,
Watch
whoa.
McDonald's blow up, and then you're gonna have the feds at my front door. Like,
Right.
Allegedly.
But remember, Vlad. Remember what that guy, that fat guy, that TDDS, guy, what he
Yeah.
said the first time he came on the show, on your show. He
yeah.
said, "Well, when you ask him, so why are you fighting flat Earth?" And he said something like, "Well, actually, because there were two guys, or one guy, I don't remember, that approached my children." Talking
Yes.
to them, talking to them about flat Earth. So
Yep.
he gives us like a look of like pedophiles, like we're approaching children.
When that's not what we don't do that. Yeah, that's the thing.
Who's gonna approach a child, to explain flat Earth?
Yeah, that's Nathan Thompson. We talked to him a lot on TikTok.
So they're gonna try to give us like an image like that can make us at the end like illegal. They may pass laws against this. They
And
can
that's what it
declare like
is.
flat Earth movement, like a terrorist movement,
Yeah,
or
poison.
a dangerous movement, or a sect, or something dangerous.
Yep. And yeah, that's it.
That's
Poisoning
gonna
the
come.
well.
That's
And then
be ready for.
anybody
Expect that.
Yeah, anybody that has flat earth ideologies, if we're not already on an FBI list, then whatever. But as soon as they do that, then it's going to give them the
That's
green
right.
light to be like, anybody promoting flat earth, they need to go on the feds list.
Of course.
Like, just give
Bro,
it,
maybe-
you know how it is.
Maybe
Of course.
5 years ago, bro. But now the community is so big that they can't take it
No,
down,
of
bro.
course, no.
Yeah.
They're
As-
going to be like
They
everybody.
can't
And then
take
you're
it
gonna,
down, bro.
yeah.
At the opposite,
bro.
because it's so big that it's now a reason for them to go to the next level, because
Yep.
they cannot,
Yes.
they don't succeed, they have no success with everything they invest, all the money, the efforts. It's they don't accomplish nothing. We keep
Yep.
on growing. So at one point they're gonna have to go harder. And
then you know what I
and
see is it's if they were to do something like that, then it'll do something. It's going to have those that are like,
Excuse me.
I do not want to get messed with, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. So you're going to see
Exactly.
people disappear from flat earth, but the real
Exactly.
real ones, we're going to be out there and be like, yeah, I'm still a flat earther, so what? And then they're going to make examples out of a few of us, and they
Yes.
might have a false flag where they'll have the people pretending to be flat earthers that
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
arrest them or do
Yeah.
something and be like, oh,
Right.
we caught him trying to put a pipe bomb inside of freaking the Gurney Mills Mall in Chicago and
Yeah.
hurt a bunch of American sailors because they believe that those sailors believe. And here's what's crazy, that Columbus said it was a globe, and so they're flat earthers. They'll make something so bizarre, and then people are going to believe it. And then they're going to
And
be like, he usually watches this channel. He was part of Jeranism. He was part of Witsit. And then they'll throw in one of our channels in there. And then we're going to be like,
And yes,
pariah.
and at that point you realize that at that point this is when we're gonna need a structure. an organization, something that can fight back. Like if we like, I think we got to bring that old flat Earth movement. We have to go political. I think that's the only way we can have some kind of a protection and attract a maximum, lots of people. Because if at one point we're gonna have to fight these people and take back our world, that has been stolen from us, we're gonna have to. We cannot do it with a revolution. You cannot, take arms and shoot people. So we're gonna
Mhm.
have to do it the right way, which is political. Politically, we cannot do it as make an association or a demonstration. Doesn't it's not worth anything. I believe that at one point we're gonna have to become a political power. Each one in the
Yes.
countries. I don't see anything else. I don't. If there is a better solution, I'll go for it. But I don't see nothing else. And
Yeah,
at one point, as a political organization with representatives, it's going to be much harder for them to declare flat Earth like terrorist organization or something dangerous, because
Now,
now we're in the system.
and I feel you on that, but the thing that I disagree, well, not even disagree,
Yeah,
but the thing that keeps me a little bit apprehensive to that are the nonsense things that come from the current type of government that we have. The system is so corrupt that it's so corrupt that
exactly.
things that we wouldn't otherwise, things that we know are wrong, we just ignore it. Right? We
Well,
just things that we know are wrong, just flat out wrong. We're just like, they're just corrupt. It is what it is. My thing is do we compromise? Do we
no,
compromise just to be part of a system
no,
that
no.
already allows stuff that's just dead flat, dead wrong, just to
Of
be
course,
part of the system? You know what I'm
no.
saying?
Of, of course not.
Because I feel
Or
when it comes to politics, there's a lot of compromise. And they're like, okay, you know what? You can still, put this much poison in the water just as long as it doesn't exceed this much amount. That's what I'm like. I'm like, it's still
no,
poison.
no,
What are you
no, no.
doing?
If you do that, it's we dead as a flat Earth movement.
Right,
The thing is
right,
that we have a product we can sell. That means being a flat earther has to be like saying we are trustworthy, we are straight people, we are not like the other politicians, like all most of political parties. We are
right,
different. First of all, we have a program where we want to make great reforms. We have all these things that nobody has. So a flat earth party will be like something that it's a revolution in itself. That means, of course, we won't be like the other ones. We're going to fight against everything which is wrong, which is lies. So we cannot agree, we cannot compromise on nothing at that
right,
point. But for that, we have to be like organized a little bit before that, and create a group of organized people with money,
right.
with as you say that, also, but security.
Because
We have
my thing, they have they I think they have a party for PDF files. They have a party for them. If a PDF file could get a party, or if they can have like a movement, I'm like, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, do we? I wouldn't even know how to. You know what I'm saying? Like you have
Sam, I
things.
nominate you Speaker of the House.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like you have
spokesman.
PDF files that have, and I'm like, they have a voice in the system, and I'm like, how? I don't even know
Well,
how.
well, but think about it. Imagine, for example, here in Israel, we already are ready for political party. We have everything ready. We just need a little bit more cash. We're working on it. But imagine tomorrow in the news, okay, if you hear about a flat Earth party, a
Mhm.
political party being created. Forget about taking over the government, but just being created and having one or two representatives into the Congress or whatever you call it. So
Mhm.
imagine how much attention that can draw from other people that
Yep.
never heard about flat earth or don't care about flat earth, because now they might have interest of joining flat earth, not for our beliefs, but for what we are willing to offer to the society.
Right.
For
In
example,
in Argentina, there's a guy that is running a soccer team. It's called the guy is called Javi Povis. It is Javi
Mhm.
space Povi, and he's going to right now. He's comfortable with it, and he's going to like most of the mainstream media and fighting everybody. And he's doing it really good together with Iru Landucci. Like they're making stuff.
Really?
They're yeah, oh yeah,
You
Javi
mentioned
Povis. Look
this
it up.
Javi
Povis.
Povi,
That's Javi
Javi.
space Povis, Pove and he has a flat earth soccer team, flat earth logo, all the soccer players. He openly talks about it in the mainstream media in Argentina. Like he's doing the thing, bro. Check it out.
Okay.
The only problem we have is that, like any new group that wants to start up, the cabal just squashes them as fast as they can. It's
Yes.
there's no
Eh, eh.
two-party system. They all work together. You almost have to know somebody that's already in the thing to get it
Exactly.
started and going.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying let's do like the way they did it. They didn't start making political parties. First, they made like secret brotherhoods. They made like secret groups in the dark. And as soon as they were consolidated, then they spread out.
Spread out.
Okay, imagine those guys in Germany, in the 1920s. Those good old boys there. They knew each other before in the 20s. They knew each other, and actually
To
it
build
was
the Nazi party, you mean?
exactly. They knew each other very well,
Right.
and they were bound by many things, and they were like a tight group. You could have never penetrate them. You could have never get into them and just implode them. They were like so tight. But out of this, look, tack, 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 and they spread. That's how you have to do it. You don't start by making a political party. You start by making like assembling an elite of people,
Yes.
officers, superior officers, great,
Kind of like you said,
strong,
the best of the best, the best
a
of the best.
core,
Of the best.
a
Right.
hard core, just like a fruit is being built. Like you need
Yep.
the core. You understand? This is what we have to do first, and out of this, everything comes out. Everything, connections, people, security, intelligence, money, everything.
Yeah.
But first is that.
I think that's important, but at the same time, part of that is, again, it's going to have to go back to the disorganization of it.
Oh yeah, yes, of
You have
course.
to- yes,
In
you-
parallel,
people- yes.
of course.
On the flip side, the people need to
course.
be savage. They
Of
need to be
course.
wild. They can't be, in line. You know what I'm saying? Like you still need that. I think that's what makes us so powerful, and it pisses people off because it's like we're dust, and
Exactly.
they can't isolate us like that.
But since we are in a transition where we know that at one point we're gonna have to fight these people, so it just takes time. It takes like years, but we have to start working on it in parallel. Keep on doing what we do. Make podcasts and talk and recruit people. But on the in parallel, we have to start thinking about the future, about the next step.
Yep.
We have to do both.
You have to have you have to have an extremely strong vetting system too, because otherwise you're going to have the wolf in sheep's clothing, like the Jarens.
Exactly.
Karen B's. Let's just name them all.
Exactly.
Shit. The Mark Sargents, the Karen B's.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to watch out for all that. People that don't pollute the
drop
water.
them names, dude. Let's drop them names.
But
Because my thing is just like that, and people, because I think when we've gotten, it's a sad place to be in when you see the politicians have lied so much. You don't get mad like you would if your child lies to you, because let's remember, if you believe in a form or a structure of government, we still pay for these guys, right? You still go to work, right? I go to work. You still work hard, right? I work hard. So you know what appears real is the money that we make, the amount of effort that we put for the measly pennies that we make, right? And I'm not trying, and my thing is because I call it measly pennies, instead of thinking that I'm calling them measly pennies because they're worthless, which I guess to some degree they kind of are, it's your sweat equity. This is a result of you waking up early in the morning to break your ass so you could feed your kids and feed your family. So then when you take that money that you earned all damn day into the night, and sometimes back-to-back days, right? Or back to day into night into day again, you expect a good turnaround. You don't expect a fraction of that money that's automatically pulled from your pocket to go to somebody to sit there and lie to your face. But then it doesn't, you don't look at it that way because you're so in the motion. You're so in the groove of waking up, going to work, waking up, going to work, waking up, going to work, resting on the weekend, waking up, going to work, rinse and repeat, right? That when they lie to you, you're just like, they just lied, whatever. You should get to the point to where you're like, you're out of here. You one lie. That's all it took. You're gone. That's it. And it's like, and now it's come to the point where it's like, they're all liars. We can't trust any of them. Now it's like, now it's come to the point to where, okay, you're a liar, you're all liars. I have a solution. We're gonna fucking do it. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we have to do it. Now we have to fucking take these matters into our own hands. And we're not gonna go around with tiki torches and this and that and beat you upside the head. No, now we're gonna do it to where we're gonna buy you and we're gonna pay. We're gonna buy you to where we're gonna come in and we're gonna change it. So it's like, and there's no lies coming from us. There's no compromise coming from us. Or if we are compromised, we're like, guys, I'm out. You need to take over. And it needs to be the revolving door where we're of one mindset. And even though there's some certain differences, the firmament, this and that, no, it's flat. That's it. That's where that's our common ground, so to speak. And then if one of us gets compromised, it's like, I'm gone, you're next. I'm going, you're next. And then it's as seamless as that. As soon as one goes down, the other one steps right on in and just runs it. And it's easy. It's easy. There's no delays. There's no, oh my God, what do we do now? No, we know exactly what time we're on. And we know exactly how to move forward from this point.
But do you realize how many Globers are going to be voting flat Earth when they're going to see the program that we propose? That means here in Israel, the program that we have, we cancel all taxes. We just put like one single tax of 10% on the gross. That's it. No property tax, no sales tax, no income tax, nothing. And it works. We also, cancel all the prison system. We just take all the prisoners, we put them in villages, closed villages, where people are going to be able to be re-educated like as human beings, not as like animals, like the way they're being parked in the jail.
But there's got to also be, I like that, but there's got to be a form of punishment, I feel. Of course, and there's got to be an incentive to do good, but there's got to be, because how many times do people get, because there's so many good people out there, how many times do people get recognized for doing even though it's what's right? How many times do people get the benefit of doing the right thing, of taking care of people next to them? There is no benefit other than what you get internally, right? I think there needs to be a benefit and a punishment system. Like those people that did wrong, those people that poisoned us, they're the first ones to get in the plane, and the plane needs to crash.
That's for sure. That's you're gonna have death penalty also at one point. That's for sure. But you can punish people for what they did, but punish them as human beings, not as animals.
Like live on TV. As human beings.
If you take people, you put like 10 people on 2 square meters, you're gonna turn them into animals, into like what kind of people are going.
I think this is what needs to happen: is the families that they hurt. We need to take those people and we need to put them around. We need to take them and their families, and we need to put them and their families around those same families that they hurt. And then we need to be like, you do with them as you please. Now you go ahead and you handle them as you see fit. Because then it puts it back into the hands of the families that were harmed by them. And if they decide we want to let them go, then it's like, all right, but we're not letting you go. We got something for your ass. If they want to let you go, that's cool. But I got something for your ass, because you ain't about to pull that same trick on us. So we got something for you. But if they want to let you go, they forgave you. That's the one that you have to worry about. But as soon as you get up to row number 2, we got something for your ass. So I feel the benefit is good, but to balance that out, you need
of course,
carrots.
Yes, of
because
course.
these people have smoke They have smoke for people overseas. They have smoke for people here. They have smoke for people there. Notice it's the same people. It's the same people. The poor people. They have the same problems with poor people or people that don't have money. They got the same shit, the same smoke. They don't look at us as people. They look at us as
No,
parasites. They look at us as
no,
problems. So we
no.
need to flip the script on them.
You know, they're looking at us as food, not even as parasite. Yeah, it's sick. It's sick. It's like, when you look at something as food, so you have no fear of that thing, because that's the ultimate domination. Is when you take something, you eat it. If you kill something, it just stays here on the floor. But when you eat something, you make it disappear. You assimilate it. So eating something is like the ultimate form of power. Like, you just make something disappear totally, and you turn it into being like a part of you. It's like it's deep shit.
Yeah.
So they're looking at us as food, and I'm telling you, even well, I don't want to get into too much.
No.
Get in there,
I
Black Light.
get it. I get it. Black Light, go ahead, man. You had something on your mind. Go ahead, bro. He looks paused.
Oh, you have froze up or something.
Black Light froze up. I know his phone's been bothering him for a
Bad
little
timing.
bit now.
See,
They got him.
Yep.
they got him.
They got him. Let me see.
Sorry, man. Porter,
Let me
you're up.
see. Let me
There he
see.
goes.
I'm gonna remove Black Light real quick.
Here he is.
I'm gonna remove him, and then let's see if he comes back in. Just come back in, Black Light. I'm gonna kick you just in case, and then you just come right back in.
Hey, I'm
come
sorry. Did you hear me a while ago?
No, Gio.
Oh, I'm so
I didn't
sorry,
hear you
man.
at all. No,
Oh, whenever you can, man. I have something that I wanted to share.
I see it. I'm putting it up right now. Go ahead.
Hey,
Yeah,
You got
so
control.
Duke needs to go out. I'll be right back, y'all.
Yeah, go
All right.
ahead, Howie.
This is mainstream news, Argentina,
Okay.
and the guy not all the way to. Do you see my mouse? Oh, do you see my mouse now? Oh yeah, you do.
Yes,
So
yes.
this
That
is
guy,
not the guy, but these two guys right here.
right?
Those are the two flat earthers.
The soccer
And
players.
this is the soccer player, right? This is Javi Povis. This is Irlanducci,
Right.
and Irlanducci is like just like me, man. Well, he a couple of years before me. He PhD, TV producer. He's into the editing and stuff like that. The behind work that you would do on a mainstream media like TV station. He quit his job to do Flat Earth. 20 years work. He quit
Wow.
it, and he's a serious big channel, big website. Yeah, he's doing pretty big, and as you can see here, this is look at him right here. I can decipher like people that are being made to put on mainstream TV and talk crap about flat earth right away, but these guys are making record in Argentina. They're making record. So this guy's a scientist, and this is another scientist, and like a real true debate between two scientists and two flat earthers on mainstream media. And you know what's crazy? I know Irlanducci for years, and he would have brought like 100 photos, 100 videos, and the mainstream media TV didn't even pass one of the videos into the TV into the background right here. Like they like they always do, they fall play and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, they're making look at this right here. Look at that. Hold on one second.
There's a lot of athletes that are flat earthers.
Oh yeah, in the US. Oh yeah.
Oh, all over actually, but yeah.
Yeah. True that. A lot in the US, rappers, Anyways, just wanted to show that it's they're hitting, man. They're hitting it. Look at this right here.
Yeah. And then and this is on mainstream news Argentina,
this
correct?
is mainstream news Argentina, bro.
Right.
And all the points that we're bringing forward. So this lady is the big ignorant one right here.
Okay.
This one right here. and the two guys on the left are the scientists.
Right.
This guy and this guy right here, and these are
Okay.
the two flat earthers. You know,
Right.
they're coolest looking guys, right? In the
Right.
whole room.
Yeah.
But all the points that they had, bro, was like knocking them out of the ballpark, and you know they would stick with their ignorance and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like they wouldn't change. But
And then they talk about things like math, and then
Oh,
they
yeah.
would use big words to kind of
Yeah.
they use those big words as a spell.
Yeah,
I've
Exactly.
noticed.
Yes,
Yeah.
gibberish.
Yeah,
Gibberish.
and then the learned people of society would be like, well, listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. Can't you hear?
Exactly.
And that's the majority of people. And it's important to do these things on TV, but it's also important to make sure that you record it and then watch it again, because it's about the content. It's about that content. So when you had a couple of months ago, Lord Jamar had to deal with that nonsense from Flat Earth Dave, where it almost seemed as if, you know, a lot of people weren't listening to Lord Jamar because he was flipping out, losing his mind. And he had a way in which he said things, but the things that he said were valid. A lot of people, like, you had to go back and you had to listen to what Lord Jamar said, and then everything he said was valid. Damn, and almost everything. There were a couple of things, like he mentioned the firmament. Well, I mean, that's debatable for some folks, but the flights, the distances, the land, the lack of curvature, all those things remain valid.
But
Right.
I don't know if you noticed, but lately, and for the maybe the first time, you can see like heads of states, not politicians, but heads of states mentioning flat earth. Here in Israel, we have Netanyahu that talk about flat earth, in a bad way, of course.
Yeah.
You have the guy in Canada.
My
there,
American brothers and sisters, we cannot treat this as if you are of the flat earth. This is why we have such a big partnership with you, my American brothers and sisters. Just
He's
kidding.
big. He's a big actor on the world stage.
Oh yeah,
Big time.
big time, big time. But you have the guy in Canada also, Trudeau, that speaks about flat Earth. You have the guy in England, the Prime Minister, also speaking about flat Earth, but making fun, like he's accusing the other parties to be like the flat Earth party. You are like a flat Earth.
You're like, don't worry, we got one coming, baby. Don't worry.
So
Yeah. Did you guys see that one with the Trudeau with the firefighters?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I
Yep,
have it
yep,
in my
yep.
video, yeah.
The firefighters.
Oh,
So
you
that-
didn't see it, bro?
Not the politicians are preparing because they know, they feel
Yep.
that it's gonna
Yes.
come up. They have to stop us at that level too.
Yep.
And it's the-
So
it's
so
interesting.
Vlad, check out this scenario. He's standing in front of like maybe 35 firefighters, and he was just like giving a speech in front of firefighters, Trudeau, right? And out of nowhere, bro, out of nowhere, he's like, well, you can't be like flat earthers, man.
Yes. This isn't good.
This isn't
Yeah.
good. You can't. Why are people flat earthers and start like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Where did it even come from?
Yep.
It was crazy,
Yep.
man.
And then this was during the pandemic. He was like, I'm
Yeah.
noticing that people during the pandemic, they're talking about flat earth. Now this is a bad thing.
Yes.
And then I'm like, ay, there it is.
And then he said it again. He said it. He went live twice, like talking about flat earth.
Yep. I made a video on that one. I made a
Yeah.
video on how Justin Trudeau tried to break it and talk about how foolish it was. Obama did the same thing.
Damage control.
Yep. And so what it is people like Trump are going to put things like Space Force out there. And then when you just add on to the lie and embellish that much more and say, well, how could there be a flat earth? He's got a Space Force. Why would he
Exactly.
make Space Force if the earth was flat?
Yep.
And it's like, well,
the last time he was in the office, he upped NASA's budget.
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah. Yep. And he was asking, when are we going back to the moon? And then
Oh,
they
yeah.
said, well, it's hard. We can't go back. And I'm like, and he's sitting over there. He's like, you can't go back. And then he's looking around. He's like, well, why not? They're like, well, the technology, they were over there suspended on their little wire harnesses looking like freaking Peter Pan on Broadway and shit. and then they're like, well, we don't have the technology to do this and do that, admitting to the American people, it basically, because we never went, we can't go, and we're never gonna go. That's it, plain and simple.
Did you hear about all the investigations that were going on with Elon Musk
Yes.
before he started investigating everybody?
Well, you know what's funny is that I think that's a way for him to kind of get the attention off of him and then onto other things. You know, people, the FAA, this one, that
he
one.
was shutting people that was investigating down. There were people investigating him that he took their money away.
See, you see, and with things like with him partnering with the FAA, and then taking the FAA and making the FAA partner with him, and he this Doge thing saying, "Oh, I won't cut your jobs if you go ahead and give me this contract with the FAA." So they give him that money, and then you're going to see other entities, other government agencies possibly doing the same thing and saying, oh, we need SpaceX to do this. Oh, we need these guys to do that. Now, here's the problem that I find with it, right? Is that when you attach, when you take his internet, when you take this SpaceX nonsense, right? Or this Starlink nonsense, and then you start saying, oh, I'm going to get Starlink, I'm going to do that, which I'm not going to lie. I got Starlink. I do. It's actually really good internet. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit and lie. I got it. But there very well could come to a point, because we are people that speak dissent on nonsense like that. You know what they're going to do? Because we have connection, they disconnect you. You say these magical words in order, you lose access immediately. This is what he's looking to get. This is what he's looking. This is why it's all the militaries are getting Starlink or a form of Starlink, but it's all through his fucking business. This is why when he gets the FAA under his belt, like he's like, I'm going to buy them out. I'm going to buy them out. I already have Twitter. He's like, Twitter's big enough. He's like, I could buy Twitter. And which is why he was talking about buying TikTok. He was like, let me buy TikTok. He wants it all. So he can control it all.
One point in time, that was called a monopoly.
Yeah, he wants it all so he could control it all. But these people and you want to know something? This electric car is turning out to be a big
that's what I wanted to touch.
The electric cars turned out to be it's like a jump off. And because you know what he's saying now about the electric cars? You know what he's saying now? The Tesla model might not be popping no more. Because it was never supposed to be popping. It was all a big fucking facade.
Yeah, but it's not just about the facade, man. It's about the car being on the grid.
Yeah, originally that's what it was, but now you got this African dude that's like, yo, Maxwell Chickambuzo with the car that you never have to charge up ever again.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, there you go. Yeah. And then now Africa's starting to adopt that model. They're like, oh shit, we don't need that. We don't need any electric cars. We just use that. We just use a car that we don't have to do this and do that. Yeah. But it's still part of a grid. And I feel this is what I feel. And I'm going to land my plane here real quick, Sam, is that I feel they're going to get people to be like, thank God I don't have to buy the Elon Musk car. I can get the car that I never have to charge, and I'll get that. You're still part of a grid. Still part of the same grid. If they need to shut it down, they'll shut it down somehow.
Talk about flat Earth, you get disconnected.
That's it.
But you know they've done, I believe, with those electric cars what they've done to the flat Earth movement with that TFE shit. With all the I'll explain you how. Because actually what I believe is that the oil industry, the oil complex is behind the creation of all these cars, those electric cars that don't work, that are ugly and everything, in order to discourage people to buy them and just tell them at the end, you know what, it's better just stick to the ancient gas model, the gas, the car that work with gas, and don't try to these electric models don't work. You understand? Same thing with flat Earth. They pushed it, they made it, big in the beginning, just in order to implode it. And to say if at the end it's nothing, it doesn't work. Even the veterans, the biggest flat earthers are like turning the globers. Like if it was a big fucking deal that there's like one guy that turns from flat earth to the globe, we have like 2 billion people that turn from the globe to the flat earth. So this is so much of a joke also. But to tell you that I believe it's a scam. They don't want people to have electric cars or to have like cars that don't use gas. So they're gonna make you okay. You want electric cars? We're gonna make them for you, and they don't work. They explode.
They make it the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they make things like that cyber fridge nonsense.
The fridge,
That
yeah.
nonsense on wheels. A big trash can on wheels. The
Oh, yeah.
worst
Understand?
car in the universe. All I'm seeing is, and I'm not even looking for it. All I'm seeing is people like, yeah, I drove my car out in the rain. Now I'm getting rust on my car. I'm like, is this 1982? Who gets rust on their car anymore? What's going on? And then they're like, oh, I was driving my car so fast, and then the side panels came off. And I'm like, what? I'm like, well, you got to be kidding me. This is a joke. And so I kind of feel that. Go ahead.
Yes,
Go
yes.
ahead, Gio.
Let me just say this. If nobody believes what he said about like the oil companies being the one that is controlling everything, you guys got to remember during the pandemic, when places were shutting down, they controlled the oil prices completely and dropped it down to like what, $2 a gallon? You remember that shit?
It was like 175 a
One
gallon.
something, right? One
Yeah,
something,
it
like
was
they dropped it
ridiculous.
all the way
I
to the
remember.
ground floor.
Yeah, right now it's 275. It's 275 by me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like super cheap because nobody was working. Nobody, all the business was shut down. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna just drop the prices now, so you guys can still do your traveling without winning money and stuff like that." But I'm like, what? And then all of a
Biggest
sudden it
transfer
goes
of
back
wealth.
up again. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah.
They do whatever they want.
They
Blacklight.
they
You still
control it
remember
all.
what you were gonna say, man?
Blacklight, where you at? Yeah, you were going to say something. I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, sorry.
This might be a little off from where everybody's at right now, but this time I wanted to give everybody some food for thought, and I wanted to ask a question based on that. So I don't know if anybody ever thought about this before, but I think the reason World War II started is because all of those countries was fighting over whatever they found in Antarctica.
Oh yeah, brother, I'm right there with you.
They
I
because
think I think World War II was more like a distraction in everybody's faces. Like this is World War II right here. Don't look at what's happening in the background.
South.
Yeah,
But,
because
but
if you look, based on what I studied, it was a bunch of countries. It was even like Norway, Sweden. It was a bunch of countries. They called it. You can look it up on YouTube. It's like called the Race to the South Pole.
Oh
They
yeah,
act like they were just trying to find the South Pole, but around those years, it was around like the 1917 or 1919 when it started, and it was up until World War II.
Oh,
And it was all claiming land down in Antarctica. And the U.S. still, I think they still got Fort McMurdo to this day down there.
right.
And if you look, I think it was when Germany they claimed their piece of land. It was called New Swabia.
New
It was in
Schwabenland.
Schwabialand.
1939, and that's the same year World War II supposedly started
Kicked off.
yes.
when Germany went down there. So I don't know if maybe
well,
Germany was late to the party, and when Germany figured out,
They were like,
maybe
there's
they
a
was
lot more than what you
fighting over the
think.
power
well,
down there. But
but
that's what I think happened. But this is what I also want to ask people though, because I ain't never been on a plane. So when it comes to these plane routes, is it true that the planes don't fly over Antarctica in the way there's certain? I even got these coasters. I don't know if y'all ever seen them. I got these on
Oh, that's
Amazon.
what's up. Okay,
Like
that's what's
That's
up.
what's up, bro. That's what's up. He
planes
got the
they don't
shirt.
fly over the oceans. Anybody
Yeah.
ever like seen how like how those planes? Anybody ever took a plane where they seen like where it should fly over the ocean, but it doesn't?
Can I chime
Wait,
in on
I'm
that?
sorry. Hold
I
on,
just
real
wanted to
quick.
throw it all that out there for y'all.
Wait. Ask that question again. I didn't hear it.
So like as far as like I guess when you fly from the tip of South America to like the tip of
Yep.
Africa, it should go straight over the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
But the plane routes will have these weird layovers where it wouldn't make sense on the
Yep.
globe.
Can I chime in on that because I know a lot about this?
Yeah, go ahead, because
Yeah,
I
so
was
I
gonna
understand
speak.
exactly what he's. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Oh well, if you look at it, it's like a straight shot. But the way planes operate typically is that you want to be flying close to overland. You don't necessarily have to fly over a whole ocean. Or if you're flying over a whole ocean, there is a runway within a certain distance of you in case you need to make a divert and you gotta land. You know what I'm saying? So it would be a straight shot from like say I don't know Patagonia or something like that over to I don't know South Africa. It would be a straight shot to some degree, even though there might be a small deviation. It would be a straight shot. But it looks like it's such a long journey that you might stop somewhere. You might stop somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead though.
Yeah, so let me chime in on this, man. So
Theo.
I've done like extensive research into this. They don't fly from Ushuaia either west or east. So east going to Africa to the tip of the Africa, or going west to the tip of let's say New Zealand.
Right.
They fly from Ushuaia, which is the tip of South America, to Chile, and then to Chile they fly to either west, and if they're going east, they're flying from Ushuaia, and then they're going to South Brazil, and then from South Brazil they go east,
For the north.
which doesn't even fit on a globe, because
Right.
if you open up Google Earth right now and see the two most southern points of like South America and South Africa, it's a straight shot. It's a straight shot, but there's no flights going from Ushuaia, and Ushuaia is an international airport. Don't let anybody bullshit that to you. It is an international airport. They fly from South Brazil, and then from South Brazil they go to like West Africa, and then they go south on Africa, flying south, and
So
then they
then
reach like the tip of South. But that's eastwards.
right. So then they're flying over a whole ocean, or are they like
So
flying over some
So, bro,
land?
look
Yeah,
behind
let me
me.
look. Yeah, let me.
Look
I'm
behind
trying
me,
to
right
look.
here, right here, right here. Look behind me.
Right.
Look at the photo that I have right there.
Yeah.
Where is the closest areas?
I have a Monty map on me. No, Monty map. I have a
Let me.
here we go. I have a Gleason's map right here, so I'll bring it up.
There we go. Yep. So you can never on a flat Earth map you can never fly from the south tip of South America to the south tip of South Africa, and that's exactly how it works. They
So
fly
right
from
here.
Ushuaia,
Yeah,
right there.
You're not gonna fly like this. What? Like that.
Ever.
Nope.
I
So
mean,
yeah, so you mentioned right here. You said it goes to Brazil, right?
South
It
Brazil.
can
Yep.
go from here, boom, to right here, right?
A little bit more north and a little bit more east.
Okay, right here.
East, a little bit lower. Yeah, around there. And
So
then
right
they
here.
take.
And so look at how short the route is.
Oh yeah,
It's
yep.
significantly shorter. Look at that.
That's where they cross over, and then they go south on
Right.
Africa.
And then you still have islands here. You still have places. You have Saint something. You have Saint something here. I think you have the Azores in and around here, something like there. You've got islands. You've got Cabo Verde. You've got islands. So you have places to land in case the journey isn't what you expect.
Right.
Right. So you have access to other places. And this is pretty short.
Yep.
This right here is pretty short in case you need to land around here.
Just
The
in
Gambia,
contrast.
right? You got and then you have those countries. You got the Gambia, you got Senegal and stuff like that, like right around here that you could just land at.
Yeah,
and then
just
you
in
could continue
contrast,
your Jersey.
open up Google Earth and show it, and you'll see like how that the flight from the tip of South America to the tip of South Africa should be a straight shot, and that's it.
Okay, let me
show that.
I don't have
so
Google
that
Earth. I've
people
got
understand.
ArcGIS, so works the same.
Right.
Let's see.
And then
can I
yeah,
bring
go
this up?
Yeah,
'Cause
go
I
ahead.
remember in particular, I remember because you might be able to look this up because I still remember this. I think it was 2015. There was a flight that was it was somewhere in it might have been, I think it was Japan, that was going to somewhere. I believe it was California or something like that. And they
Mhm.
made an emergency stop
Oh, I
in
know what you're talking
Alaska.
about.
Alaska.
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about. You're
Yeah.
talking
and if it
about
was a
that.
straight shot, why would it, on a
Yeah.
globe, it would be at an angle. But on,
You're talking about the lady that had the emergency.
she was
The lady
pregnant.
that
Baby.
she was pregnant and
Yeah.
she needed to deliver. So
Yeah,
they stopped over in Alaska instead of going to Japan. But from where I think where she took off around like Washington D.C. heading to Japan is far away from Alaska. But what they
Mhm.
do is that if you look at the flat Earth map and see how it is from Washington to Japan, you'll understand why they landed
Yep.
in
Exactly.
Alaska.
It's yeah, you're flying, if I remember, yeah, you're flying like over land most of the time. Or you're
Yeah,
flying close to land, not over
close to
land, but you're
land.
flying
Exactly,
close
that's
to it.
correct.
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
skimming close to land. But right
That
here's
that
Ushuaia, right here in
yep.
this little corner, right there.
th-
Boom. And then you've got South Africa. You see? This is how it is. Look at that on a globe.
Yep, that's a straight shot.
Yep.
And
Boom.
that's reachable with 737 like very easily. I think it's somewhat something like 6,000 miles or something like that.
Hmm.
And a 737 is the maximum is around 10,000 miles or 9,000 miles, something around there.
Wow.
But they don't do it like that. And then they're
Cape
like,
Town.
"Oh no, it's economics. It's the way that they do it because they get more people flying to the north. So blah blah blah, yada yada yada." No, it doesn't fit on a flat Earth map.
Right.
But then you have that flight going to the western side. They take Chile and then they go to the west, and so somewhat supposedly it grazes the borders of Antarctica, um, and it lands in Australia. But
Mm.
nobody really there's a couple of videos on there. It's kind
Mhm.
of I think it's kind of this kind of flight that because you don't find it on
Mhm.
like Google Flight. If you want to just book a flight through like one of the big databases of like cheap flights like cheapflights.com, or
Right.
kayak.com, you're
Right.
not going
Or
to find a flight.
justfly.com. Got you.
Yeah, yeah, you're not gonna find the flight. You're not gonna find that flight that's going because only two, if I'm not mistaken, two carriers flies it. That's
Right.
LATAM and that Saudi Arabian airplane carrier.
Emirates, UAE.
Emirates. Yep. Those
Right.
are the only two airplanes that flies it supposedly, and you have to book it directly with them through their website.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure, like I've seen cruise ships in that left Florida being canceled, just going to Antarctica
Mhm.
was canceled, and people made a fuss of it and made the news over TikTok. And they took them instead of going to Antarctica, they took them to like so going below the tip of Argentina and going a
Right.
little bit more north and then come back. And also there was one where instead of taking them to Antarctica, they took them to Deception Island,
What?
which, oh my god, bro, look up Deception Island. You don't know about
Oh
this?
yeah. Deception Island looks like Antarctica. Looks exactly like it.
No, it's people. I'm sorry,
It
but
well, when I
there's a
say
lot
looks
of
like
people.
Antarctica, if you look at it, it looks like a
Right,
horseshoe shape.
right,
It's circular with ice on it, or what could be
right.
ice, right?
Correct.
And then it just looks a certain way, and I'm like, that just looks so strange. But then I'm looking at the name as well, Deception Island. I'm like, wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah.
Matter of
But
fact, I could put it in here, Deception Island, instead
yeah,
of
just look for it up. And
seven.
there's a lot of people that don't believe that Deception Island even is an island and it exists. And yes, it's at Antarctica and it is Deception Island.
There's
It's
also
an actual island. Oh
Rothschild
yeah,
Island also.
right there. Yep. So they took them there.
Yep.
The
This
day
is
that they
it.
canceled on a cruise ship going to Antarctica, they took them to Deception Island. I'm like,
Yep.
what?
Look at it. Yep.
Also known as the TFE. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. But look at
Yeah.
it. Look at it. This thing
Right.
is big old ice circle, or some of it's much ice.
Mm.
Man, look at that.
Yeah.
It resembles what we think the world is.
Yeah. So
And
so
then
bla-
and then it
Sorry.
even goes as far as to have this empty, this big old crack going somewhere. Look at that. You got this
Yeah.
crack going to wherever, just outside this pond. It's wild. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just to answer the question, Blacklight, it gets very advanced in the southern part of the flat Earth. You got to talk about magnetic declination. You got to talk about um, the trade winds. You know, the jet streams.
Yes.
You got to add all of that into the
Yep.
mix because I think a long time ago, one of the highest top speeds of airplanes traveling through a jet stream took an airplane from 500 miles per hour to 800 miles per hour
Woo! That's
airspeed,
a difference.
kicking
Yes.
that up 300 miles per hour more.
Yep.
And when you hear like these debates between a flat earther and a globe earther, you don't hear any of these globe earthers talking about these jet streams, and also talking about the calculation that has to be recalculated from these routes.
Mhm.
With that, I'm not saying that they're always flying 300 miles per hour,
Extra.
but you got to put at least 200 miles per hour extra. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the trade winds, the jet streams, they get very heavy down in the south, because that's
Mhm.
when, you know, if it was a flat earth and you have that area where you have the ice wall, which is way bigger than the North Pole,
Mhm.
you have an extreme change of temperature right there colliding with each other, which
Right.
will
Right.
make winds
Yes.
heavier.
Yep.
And I think sometimes that they try to pull this off, and they actually have people on a flight going from that Chile to New Zealand. They're
Mhm.
flying through this jet stream right there, and they do it rarely, a couple of times during the year to make news.
Right.
But they're not doing it constantly, and that's why you have to call the website, or go on the website itself and try to book it. And there's no there. I mean, LATAM itself. And I'm gonna land my plane right now. LATAM itself, not LATAM,
Unintended.
Arab Emirates,
You right.
or was it another one? One of them. They're the one airplane carrier that did this flight first was involved in a lot of ghost flights. One of
Mm.
the
Make
only
pretend flights
carriers.
that they. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and especially in Australia, they had a big court case. It's public and everything, that
Mhm.
the people were trying to get their money back because they were committing a lot of ghost flights, and it was big news in Australia for this company. But it gets very complicated, and there's a lot of like stuff that adds to it that I think maybe it's possible with a very heavy jet stream.
Mhm.
But do they fly it constantly like a flight from Florida to Europe? No, they don't. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. So Brit right there is saying you fly through the jet stream quite a bit from USA to the UK.
Oh
So
yeah,
heading
oh yeah.
east, it makes sense because and Justin Johnson brings up a good point. I don't think the winds are created in the manner in which that we are told. I agree as well. As a matter of fact, I feel the sun and the moon help create the winds.
Yes, yes, it is written also in our books. It is, and it makes sense. Those are the only two things that are like moving into like
Yes.
a close space. So of
Yes.
course they're gonna make the wind.
Right. Making the heat. One is making a heat, one is making a not heat, or whatever it is. One is a positive, one is a negative. And it's like those two things, even though they may not be physical to the touch, I guess their effects or their after effects must
W-
exactly. So
uh,
and it's something probably electromagnetic wind, sure. And there's something in the wind. There's something with the electricity of the wind. Where in
yeah,
the scriptures they talk about how, which I'm not trying to take away from what it is you mentioned either, Gio, but
That's
kind of
fine,
add
bro.
on to it. But because in
Right.
the scriptures they mention how God breathes wind or breathes air into Adam's nostrils, right? And he's giving it electricity, the electric properties of wind, right? And then you see what happens when you get lungs, you get wind inside of your lungs. They look the way they look. Looks like a big
Mhm.
old lightning strike in your chest.
In
You know what I'm
Hebrew,
saying?
the word wind and spirit, the two words are the same word. It's the same word. You say ruach to say spirit, or also wind. It's interesting. But,
just to say one more thing to Blacklight, like there's no flights that are going over Antarctica ever. Like I'm talking about purely going south over Antarctica. It's not, because I think that was his original question. Like if there was any flight going over Antarctica. No, they graze the border of Antarctica and that's it. So they fly like right here,
I have a question for you guys. You know, I'm not trying to drive you crazy, but Antarctica is supposed to be like a high continent, right? It's supposed to be like, I heard, the highest continent, or at least high, right?
Right.
Okay.
Accumulatively, yeah, accumulatively.
Right. Totally. Okay.
Okay. Now the second point is that we know that in Antarctica there is no humidity. Almost, it can come down to like 1%, like we said the last time. Remember?
Right.
That means that the sky is perfectly clear. How come we don't see any observatories over there, like big telescopes watching the stars? It will be the most proper place to do so, because all the observatories are like yes, but they are known. Or if there are, maybe it's hidden. It's possible, so there are hidden ones, but they are known, and it makes sense that they are known because Antarctica.
It's something
actually,
right. It's at the end of.
Check it out, because maybe I talked about it before that. But when you look at all the pictures of Antarctica, all those bases that they have, you see it's all like shitty, houses, shitty, like,
buildings.
Building. Okay.
Yeah.
And those people have been there like for like 80 fucking years, right? That means that, they have means. They spend like trillions, billions, whatever to get there. Should be already like cities or, places, like, even though most of them can be hidden.
Right.
But, some pictures sort of, came out already of like big factories or big centers.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So what I came to the conclusion is that I don't believe that they are looking for like, resources or gold or whatever, copper or, rich earth or some shit. I don't believe so. I believe that the best thing that they could do there is to study the thing that they are the most obsessed with and the most valuable to their eyes. It is the dome, because Antarctica is close to the dome. So of course they have to be studying the dome there, and for that you don't need like, all you need is like, camps, to make expeditions and to check the dome. And of course they cannot be like observatories because they're close to the dome. And if the stars are into the dome, so they're close.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's true.
if they can not touch it, let's say, but if they can get close to it,
right,
very close, I think that's the most
right,
valuable thing they have to study. I believe
right,
they are studying the dome. That's the thing they're studying. That's why
right.
you don't see nothing else. They don't need, like, believe me, they don't need fucking gold. They don't need fucking, gas. They have all that already. They don't give a shit about this. But
Understanding
the
what the composition and what they can do if they know
to do,
right.
how to fuck it up, how to fuck it up, how to get through it, or to do something. But of course, it's about this. I'm certain.
Right.
So
I think
now you're talking about the planes that cannot fly there, of course, because it's too close to the dome.
Mm-hmm.
They got it's not me, bro. It's not me.
They
it's
got that. No, it's not me. I don't think.
All right, somebody was over there beating on a drum or something. But yeah, no, that's a really good point. And before I continue, shout out to Justin Johnson. Justin, and the way Flatsoid would say it, Justin Johnson, thank you for your contribution. You rock. Thank you for that. You rock. Shout out to Justin Johnson with the Cash App, brother. I really appreciate it, man. And for anything y'all said, man, it's much appreciated. Even if it's 8 cents, bro, it's much appreciated. That's 8 cents. I could do something with it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And y'all drop me y'all's address, man, and I got something for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't go without trying to bless y'all with something. You know what I'm saying? I'll be sending stuff from here. So totally, man. Drop me an address. You guys know how to contact me. I send stuff, man. I send stuff. I really enjoy it. I think it's a good time. So for the money that you guys give me, man, I make sure that it serves the community well. So that's what I like.
You got 57 subscriber more left to reach 1K.
Oh snap! Oh snap! So I have 950 something. I have 900. Yep. No, I have 9.
952.
No, I have 947. 947.
Well,
953.
Now that you're on the Flat Earth Wiki or the Fourth Wiki, maybe you'll get some more subscribers because
Oh wow, yeah, they'll
you're
probably
part of
all
an
be
exclusive
fed.
club now.
Yeah.
You're in
Now I'm
Flat
part
Earth
of the
Wiki.
Made it.
McToon. Yeah, now I'm part of the McToon Wiki. Yay, what
We're in
an
the
honor.
presence of greatness.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. Amazing.
I don't even know what that's all about, but
So
I
we're
want to
on
look
the
at this shit
liar
right
list.
now.
So I'm on the liar list. That's an honor. I'm on the liar list. Yay.
I want to look at this
Feels
shit right now. Are you
pleasure.
kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what it is.
So about the whole the winds being made by the sun, and I know that's not supposed to be the topic of discussion, but that's something that I find absolutely fascinating. And I find it fascinating that with those winds, what do you get with the winds? You get electricity. You have to get some kind of electricity because we see it in Florida all the time. And then on the flip side, you see it in the South as well. I know for anybody that lives in Florida, that has lived in Florida, I'll tell you what happens during the wintertime. We really don't get. And I'm talking about me when I used to live in and around Florida. I lived in southeast Georgia, a place called Kingsland, right? And when I was in Kingsland, during the wintertime, we really wouldn't get thunderstorms or nothing like that. We wouldn't get lightning at that. It was rare. Every once in a while, it was still warm, but every once in a while, you get a little bit of rain. You might, but during the summertime, during the late spring, you would get at 12 o'clock like clockwork. Think about it. Noontime. You know what you would get? You would get you would look up in the sky, quiet, and then you'd hear it, boom, 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 and then you'd get lightning, thunder. And if we were in the water, they were like, guys, divers, get up out the water. We're getting a thunderstorm. And these are precautionary measures that we take every time at 12 o'clock. We'd have to get up out the water and we'd sit there, chill out. Then I was like, damn, we'd go inside and then they did the little thunderstorm and it would last for like maybe an hour, 2 hours, and then it's done. You know what I'm saying? It's done. 2 o'clock. Lightning storm is done. The lightning storm is somewhere else. Now think about that. It's the summertime, right? And I guess with how we observe the sun moving, it looks different in the South, I'm sure, during during times of the year and whatever. But I just think it's funny that it's 12 noon, midday. The sun is right overhead. And then it's causing these lightning storms, T-storms, great winds, rain, right? And then after 2 hours, it takes the lightning storm somewhere else. And this is the summertime. You know what I'm saying? Or this is the late spring.
Vlad, check out every day at 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock and it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon and look at the winds.
6 in the morning, 6 in the afternoon.
Yeah, when the sun rises and when the sun sets. So when the sun rises, it's coming into your area right there, and it's mixing. It's mixing with that kind of colder temperature that's set there during the night.
Right.
And you'll get a gust of wind, a crazy gust of wind. And then during the day when the sun is all the way up, you get like sustained winds if there is no like storms around you and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the afternoon before the sunset, you're getting that mix of temperatures again, of like a colder temperature to that hot temperature. Where I'm from is 32 degrees all year round, so we get that very crazy hot weather. Right. And we get that very crazy extreme temperature changes in the afternoon and also in the morning.
And you're also closer to the equator.
Yeah.
You're closer to the equator. Now guess where the majority of lightning storms happen in the world?
Antarctica.
The equator.
Lightning storms.
The most lightning storms.
Not me, bro.
No, at the equator. So places like I don't know about Ecuador, but I know about Equatorial Guinea. They get a lot of lightning storms.
Not us at all.
But at the equator, at the equator area, like places like Equatorial Guinea, they get the most lightning storms. It's crazy.
Do you think there is a connection between all that electricity in the air or whatever, lightning, and the fact that the sea is salted?
Well,
yes.
because the salt is the conductors. It conducts,
Yes.
electricity very much.
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick, Vlad, and I'll land my plane. I'm trying to land my plane as fast as possible. Like once, if you have like a wind chart like app or something like that, and you click
Right.
around the whole of South America and South Africa, you'll get the winds to be around 10 kilometers per hour and up to very rarely up to 15 to 20 kilometers per hour.
Yes.
That's Africa and South America. And if you do North America, you get the same thing, exactly the same thing. But once you're going down at around Antarctica, you're getting 40 kilometers per hour winds.
Right.
And also over the ocean, you're getting that heavy, crazy 64, 50 miles per hour. It's almost the same. But what I'm trying to say is that when you're having a lot of like clouds, right? You have that crazy temperature change because clouds normally they carry the humidity with it,
Right.
and they carry that static electricity with it.
Yes.
Very heavy static electricity with it, because in my opinion of what I believe to be like that very crazy temperature collisions, the cold and the heat,
right?
And the heat, and that's mostly with like hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff like
Yes.
that. You get that
Yes.
crazy static electricity because it has those
Yup.
clouds, that heavy dense clouds that are very very
Yes.
cold,
Yes, but
that is
you
mixing
also
with temperature.
yes,
Go ahead.
but when you have like you don't get, there's certain times of the year that we don't get hurricanes and tornadoes, or hurricanes and the crazy weather. When we get them is when the sun starts coming closer to the north.
Right.
So it's like making that transition like this, and with the moon following, it's like they're creating those winds. And so when it comes to those things that we don't believe, the Coriolis effect, it makes Coriolis effects. Those Coriolis effects are the hurricanes.
Right.
Those Coriolis effects that they come closer to the top, those are hurricanes.
Yeah. In my opinion, like the Coriolis is anything that's leaving the sun going north, and then anything that's leaving the
Yes.
sun going south,
Going
because
south,
of that
right.
temperature change.
Yes.
Which that sun gives our Earth.
Right.
Has nothing to do with the equator. Nothing. It has everything to do with the sun, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think you need both. I think it's you
With the
need
equator?
both. Well, no, no, not at the equator, because you said,
Okay.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, you said the sun. It's only has to do with the sun.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
I think you need both, right? Because if lightning is the byproduct, lightning and those things are the byproduct, I think there is that relationship of the moon, right? Chasing after the sun.
You mean both? When you said both, you mean the moon and the sun?
Yes.
I thought you said the sun and the equator.
Oh, no. I think you need both, and
You need
I
three.
don't know. Right. Yeah.
You need a
go
third
ahead,
one.
Sam.
You need also the dome, because if it's a closed system, the wind is going to bounce.
Yes.
It's going to bounce on the dome. The dome is also as a role, I believe, in the wind, because if it wasn't closed, the wind will go out. I don't know, but I
Right.
think
Right.
the dome
No,
as
you're
a
right. And just like I made a video on that, and I said that it looks like an eye of the storm, what they call the plasma balls. I just call it eye of the storm. That's what them little toys that you put your fingers on, and then the lightning, the little arcs go to your fingers and stuff. So yeah, that would be the dome. And so the air is important. So that static electricity, that air is important. So the more moisture that you get, or the more moisture that you start to accumulate, which I don't know if it's the moisture that would help in creating the arcing, the lightning strike. I don't know if that helps, because you have it to where it's dry as well, and then you still get the same thing. You still get arcs. You still get lightning strikes.
But I'm not expert in electricity, but what I know, in my job, is that we know that electricity, you have to have like two poles,
Right.
plus and minus.
Yes.
Like
I'm a welder, so yeah, the
So-
anode
so-
and the cathode.
So
Yep,
in that
that's
case,
right.
who will be the plus and the minus in that case? Like, We have the dome, we have the moon, and we have the sun.
Magnetism.
So
We have this-
what is the role of each one into that creation of electricity there? If
So you So you have you have your conductor. You have you need motion. So you need motion. You need with the motion in a conductor. You have flux, and then you have current that's being generated through the conductor. So it's like it's like the right hand rule or something like that. Geez, now I'm trying to go back in the archives of my mind of trying to remember that stuff. But there's one component, right, that gives you flux. You have another component that gives you some kind of movement. So that would be the sun and the moon, and then
the negative is the moon, yeah. The blue is
the
the
negative
moon.
is the moon. So their movement. So you could say that would be the I guess the bar that's traveling, right? Or the piece of metal that's traveling would be the sun and the moon. And then I guess the in between would serve as where the conductors would travel, right? So the in between would be the dome, or not the in between, but I guess you could say I don't know, the electric plates would be the dome, right? One aspect of because the equal sign, if you look at an equal sign in a math problem, that's what it is. The equal sign is like the earth, and then the top is like the dome. And then you have the stuff in between moving, or the stuff, the sun and the moon moving. And then, well, you have a current that moves through it. So that current could be whether it's the water, they have water current, and then you have wind current as well. But then you have, I guess that's what it would be. And through the wind is where you would get your electricity. Perhaps.
Yeah, where I've really so I weld a lot. I'm not a professional welder, but I've been around welding equipment my whole life. And where I try to where I kind of get like a vibe that the cold and the hot colliding to each other with the whole temperature thing. When I'm welding with I do stick welding. When I'm welding with 150 amps, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, nice. You can't have the amps too high. Your stuff will stick without you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to weld back in the day.
Right. When you're doing those thick heavy steels, you got to crank that up to like 150 to 200 amps. You got to have that thick rod for you to, be able to mold and grab those two steel plates together, whatever you're trying to weld. But when I'm having it at around like 180 amps, and I'm standing next to this flash that makes the sparks and everything like crazier, I also feel wind.
Yes.
Coming out
that's
of this hot.
That's a
spark,
really good point. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like a quick wind coming close to me, and that's a lot of heat right there that's being generated by this arc that the stick of the weld is creating at the moment, and this is what, when I did this a long time ago first time, and I'm like, wow, this is weird. This hot arc is like generating wind somehow in one way or the other, and
it's pushing the air. Like how does it do it? It's like, does the heat pushes the air around?
No, you're right. It's like a byproduct of what it is you're doing. You
Could
get that
be, yeah.
windy effect, yes, but you feel it. You know what they do is when there are those big power
transformers.
centers, the big transformers, people will walk around with things to check to see if there's a break in the system by putting things in the air to see if there's a wind. If there's
the static
wind,
electricity.
That's what
static
it is.
Electricity. Yep.
Once there's that wind, they're afraid that there would be an arc.
Oh, that's why. That's why sometimes you can stand like 10 meters away from one of those big things and also get electrocuted. It happens.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to touch it to get the juice.
So
sometimes
electricity,
you can get it from far away.
Yeah, I'm a lot with I do a lot with electricity too. I can play with live wires all the time and like do repairs and stuff like that. So electricity tries to find the least path of resistance.
Yes.
And if you're bare feet standing on the ground,
You're it.
Electricity is trying to always get to the ground.
Yep.
And if you touch a
You-
bare wire that is
become part of the
live,
circuit.
you become part of the circuit, and it's gonna try to go to the ground.
That's right.
That's why I always tell my girlfriend, like, I have a lot of crazy shit around my house, like some jobs that are unfinished and stuff like that. But when I'm doing electricity, I always tell my girlfriend, you better wear some thick soles,
Yep.
rubber soles, thick
Yep.
rubber soles, always, baby.
Why did-
Don't do that. Get
The
thick
boots.
rubber soles.
That's
I,
right.
I heard that if you walk barefoot, there is some kind of a connection between your foot and the earth, which is electrical. Have you
Yes.
heard that? You know,
Yep. The
Oh, yeah.
healing.
you know,
Yeah. Walking
in
barefoot
oh, yeah.
in the grass.
in the Torah, it is, you know, at one point God talks to Moses and tells him to, you know, take off his shoes, because this is like a holy land or whatever, you know, a sacred land. So I'm wondering if there is not something like, you know, between the electricity and I don't know how to say it, because if you say that the electricity goes to the ground, and if we know that there is a dome and that there are like electricity in the air, so what comes up from, you know, maybe also it is attracted to the dome. Maybe it's like the two poles, like magnets or something. I don't know. I'm trying
I think
to think.
maybe where we become like a conduit for some of that, like some of that electricity travels through us as well.
Yeah. We
You know
also
what I'm
produce
saying?
electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
And I think that our hair might be might have some effect to it. Like,
yeah.
and it depends on the kind of hair you have too, maybe. Like if your hair is like red, because red looks like it looks copper, or maybe if your hair is blonde, right? Or if it has more copper in it, or if it has more like a gold or red property, maybe you conduct a little bit more electricity in your head.
maybe
I don't know.
when you have those crazy clouds that are coming in, those crazy dark clouds that are coming in, you get that heavy static electricity. In my beliefs,
You can smell it too.
that those clouds are generating such a heavy static electricity that it comes to a point that it wants to find the path of least resistance, and it's
Yes.
gonna go to the ground.
To the ground. Yep.
And that's it.
And you know what? With it traveling through the air as well, it collects. It's like it's rubbing the friction.
Oh yeah.
The friction in the air
Oh, yeah.
also just moving at that speed. You add a little bit of heat to it, and that thing just wants to discharge badly.
Yep.
It wants to just discharge like pow. It wants to discharge.
Hey Vlad, I gotta hop out, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you once again, and everybody
Dude,
else.
Yeah, I'm about to actually get up out of here too, man. I gotta eat. I gotta eat my dinner because I'm.
Take care, guys.
I gotta eat. But peace out, brother. Peace out. So I'm about to check up out of here. But before I do, I want to give you guys y'all's time in the sun. Chicago Cubby Bear, do you have anything for us, fam? Because you haven't really said anything.
No, man. No, it was great conversation. I was just come up to hang out and see what was going on.
Yeah,
learn
man.
a few things
We
maybe.
just
So
off a new call.
yeah,
Yeah. All right.
thanks
man.
for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Always a pleasure, brother. Always a pleasure. Porter, anything, man? Because you've been quiet. I know you've been healing up, bro. But it's good to see you.
I wanted to add to his comment on what y'all were talking about the electrical
sun?
value, the electrical value that's above us, and it is real. What you were talking about when it comes to the
Dome?
the Coriolis, there is
Oh, right.
recordable electrical Coriolis, and
Oh,
it's an ether. It's like an ether drift Coriolis, and the best way to describe what we are experiencing is we have a magnetic north, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the structure field of Lenz's law. I don't know if anybody knows what Lenz's law is. The law of induction. It's now called the law of conservation. They changed the terminology in 2019 with a lot of other things. But I'm gonna make this short.
Okay.
But you take a magnet, you stick it into a coil, depending if it goes north end first or south end first.
Oh,
it
it's the direction. Yes. So that's a right-hand rule too. It'll show you the direction at which the current will, based off of what I was taught.
Yes.
Right. The direction, because if it's going in, then the direction, if it's going in that way, then it would go that way. it would be
Right.
spinning that way. Where if it's coming at you,
Gotcha.
that
Around.
flux would be
Yes, the
traveling in this
flux.
direction. Yeah.
It's a flux vector. You're right.
Yeah.
So we have one. We have a megalithic magnetic, the black rock, we all
Right.
know. And then we have a giant sub-freezing temperature coil. That's why it's frozen.
Right.
Because
Right.
energy condensed becomes more strong, has more permeability.
So you mean frozen as in the dome?
Yeah, the edge of that, the reason why
In Antarctica.
all of the ice
Yeah.
is because it's where the energy barrier comes down and connects. Boom. Yeah, I believe. Now that's a theory.
No,
But
no.
I said I
That's
want to bring up Lynn's law later on and show you what it looks like.
right.
Just the law of induction. But this is the funny thing. If you look at our North Pole, Vlad, we have the flux is going in, right? That's a northward pole. That's not a south pole. I mean, that's a southward pole, not a north. Yes.
Our
Yeah,
north,
look at because everything's pulling that way, right?
right?
Everything's pulling to the north. So there's something pulling energy.
Oh, right. Because based off
Yeah.
of the direction, if we apply that same principle,
No matter where you go, it's always something pulling there. That means that's a south pole. It's not pushing it. You
But
get what I'm saying? It's always pulling towards the north, no matter which way you go. So it could be just the way we were taught, could be the law of reversal as well. And that could be a push. I'm not up at the north to tell. I think if you were able to go to the north, you could tell a difference with certain types of electrical instruments because ratings get taken away and added to when there's outside energy, EMI. So you can tell if it's coming or going. You get what I'm saying? I can't
Yes.
get to the north to figure it out.
yes. So then, if that's the case, because based off of what we're taught, right, and
Yes.
that principle being applied, if it's going that way and then it's going down in the center,
Right.
then once we pass the equator,
Down there.
once we go past the equator, then the sun does something different. Then does that mean it's going up at the other
Well,
side?
I think,
Do you
I'll be
hear what I'm saying?
Vlad, listen to this one though. They say everything goes in a circuit, right? But when we notice, we see the sun no matter what. If we filmed it every day at an hour later, it would make a figure eight called the analemma.
Right.
We see it there. I see the sun come and go across, right? I see it go straight across. I don't see it get big and then get smaller like it's going around.
Right.
It's always giving the illusion that it goes across and comes back across.
Right.
I've never seen it just like go around.
Right.
Even
right.
in the videos of the north, it goes to its furthest point,
Right.
and then it seems like it comes right around. So it kind of makes like the eye. It's not a circle, and that's what's so weird. So, what is the shape? I know in the 30s, Louis Picard, he described in Popular Mechanics that the Earth looked like a disc with upturned edges.
Right.
He was the
Augustus
first
Picard,
one to go to outer space.
the Swiss guy.
Yes, and so that could be totally how it is. But who's to say that it doesn't just cross over like this in an eye shape and not goes around? It just comes across us. You get what I'm saying? It shapes like it arcs out just so far and goes back into a center point, like and goes in and comes out, and it has a shape almost like they call it an ecliptic,
Like a race car.
like ecliptic.
Like the
Right.
eye of Ra.
It's on an
Like
ecliptic.
an
We're on the
ellipse.
ecliptic. We're supposed to be on an ecliptic, right? So
Right.
the sun's actually on an ecliptic, which
Is the one that's moving in that little racetrack pattern.
That's right. Yep.
Like,
So,
like the
pretty neat.
Egyptian eye of Ra, the eye of Ra.
Right.
So what if it doesn't go around us in a circle, y'all? Well, it can't actually, because you can actually get a Sharpie marker
Right.
with some alcohol on a 4K screen, and you can, as you see, and press play on the northern real videos of the 24-hour sun. You can draw or one of those dry erase markers on your TV, and you follow the whole the coordinates, and it will go back to where it started, and it shapes just like an eye. It's like two upside down triangles that are smooth. So that's not a circle. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's going across the earth and coming back. So where does it move a little bit? It must move to each little, as it goes to its furthest point, it may tilt a little bit more this way or have it, and go in another millimeter each
Right.
time it goes around. It may do it like that. But I do know, Vlad, that it doesn't go in a circle around all the
Right.
continents. It
Because
doesn't.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's a whole different reference frame on how this thing could be shaped in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it's the circle of the earth, so it's the circle. But I'm
Right.
saying as if it's shaped with
As
continents
far
laid out.
as the route that it takes, the route or the track that it makes.
Yeah, because I think even if we were to track the sun, if we could get, like I was talking about, over these different continents, if we could find out through YouTube or Facebook, these people that lived in a 12 o'clock straight up vector
Right.
of the sun coming across them and find out exactly every day at 12 o'clock where they're at,
Right.
see where it's falling. And if it's to the south or to the north, when, if we can get it pinpointed where it's over everybody's head as it passes, then we
Right.
can find the full shape.
You
of
can right. Based off of using people, their GPS coordinates, even
Yes.
we could be like, at this time it was here, at that time it was over the
Yes.
right.
So, I mean, I did that with Australia. There was a lady down there named Miss Valerie. It's funny, it was my sister's name. But then I got somebody that was in California, and then Zap that was in the UK. And we all went outside at 12 o'clock at night, and we all filmed the moon at the same time. Yeah, allow that one to sink in.
What?
Yes. And look, 30 minutes after we put it on, it was taken down and like gone. Like I'm talking about, like my screen had a gray screen with a question mark on it, like it was it's been, what do they call it? Not hacked.
Been
not
removed. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to me also like a few days ago. I'm trying to have people flat earthers from Iran.
The file was corrupted. It says
corrupted. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I reached that big flat earth site in Iran.
Okay.
And try to connect them because I want to make a podcast. Israel, Iran, on flat earth.
Right.
Do something like telling people that peace is only possible on flat earth, not on an hyperactive globe. But anyways, I tried to take contact with them and everything. 2 days later, the site disappeared from the internet. It's a site with like 300,000 followers.
Yeah.
In Iran, it disappeared. I still have the name of them. You cannot find it anymore.
Oh,
so it just throws an error code, like page 404 comes up or something.
I don't know if it's the Iranian security services or if it's the Israelis. I don't know, but apparently it was a good idea.
Jesus.
Real quick, what did you mean by at the same time, Porter? Like each person's like what did you mean by each at the same time?
Well, not the same time, like for them at 12 o'clock.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought you meant.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And like I said, I was able to find someone in Australia. I found somebody that was in California, and then there was someone in the UK. And we all went out and filmed it. We all downloaded this GPS app so we could screenshot our coordinates at that same time and had a federal timestamp to prove it, and videoed on another phone our coordinates and put it up there. We all did. Yes.
Gotcha.
And 30 minutes later, the video was taken down.
Oh my
like gone. And it was pretty nice.
They're watching.
They know what they're doing. Well, Sam, do you have now that's interesting. That's something I'm going to be looking at here in a little bit. But Sam, do you have any last words, any final words?
My usual, we have to get organized and start, striking back.
Yeah,
we have to think about it at one point. Even though we have to keep on, recruiting people and talk and debate about flat earth between us and everything, no problem. But we have to start thinking about, what's coming. And I'm sure that on the other side they're also planning into going to the next level now. Well,
yep.
That's it. Great show, like always. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Vlad.
Oh, brother, anytime, man. And heal up fast, bro.
All right, man.
Praying for you.
All right, Bear. All right, Sam.
Out.
Peace.
Chi-Town, Cubby Bear. Peace out. Howie, peace out. Sam, thanks for
Bye.
coming, man. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Much appreciated. And team, hey, it's been real tonight. Love you guys that you came out and played at such short notice, and I apologize for dropping that on y'all at such short notice. But we're gonna go again. We're gonna be live again tomorrow, and we're looking at doing Your Health is Wealth as well. So yes, please expect it. And again, it's gonna be pretty interesting for those of you guys that didn't catch it before. Your health is your wealth, even for you globe people. You know, you guys, health is important to you people of the globe too, even though you like to delve in that BS lie of the globe. It is what it is. You have a health, you have a heart, you have blood, and you have a brain, and you have all those things, and you eat, you got kids and all that. We want to make sure that you're being well taken care of. So all this information is going to be some good stuff coming from a good friend of mine, and things that we could get out of it. And then, of course, after that, we're going to roll into the flat earth like normal. But anyway, family, that's it. That's it for tonight. Glad that you guys could join us. I wish you guys nothing but the best, family. Health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity, and most of all, wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Right down there, if you look, is what's his name's PayPal, is Mikey's PayPal. What I'm gonna do is before I sign off, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop that in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna drop that right there in the chat, so then that way everybody could have it. And then yeah, I'm gonna drop that in there. So go ahead before Mikey rolls up out of here. Let's give him one last hurrah, so that I'm not a bandit or whatever it is Brenda said. I said I'm the Hamburglar or something like that. And so Mikey's not, stranded in Las Vegas. Let's give him one last big old hurrah. Make sure he's got his gas full and his belly's full too. You know what I'm saying? We don't want our brother being stranded down there. Go ahead, Sam.
Check your Telegram, because your Telegram is going to be full soon. Also, just check the Telegram.
Yes, sir. You got it. You got it. And family, again, wisdom, 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 family. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out and playing. Thanks for coming out and watching. And let's consider what Sam mentioned. And let's look and see what we're going to do with the flat earth here in the future, family. Anyway, love you guys. We're out. Peace.
Yes, we're moving on.